6 points per game, about a 6 point per game improvement. And he's doing it on 50% shooting from the floor and over 34% from three. On top of that, as you just heard, he's been playing a much more physical style of basketball. He's upped his blocks to nearly 2.5 per night, and his assist-to-turnover ratio has improved as he's more built for the physicality of the painted area in an NBA game. He's been able to do all of this while only averaging a couple more minutes per night. So his improved numbers are not just a matter of more opportunity, they're a sign of greater effectiveness when he's on the court.
Yeah, Alex Sarr is, putting up all-star numbers. Again, only his second year, but he's making a big leap and certainly a cornerstone for this franchise going forward. It's the Wizards and Orlando Magic on this Tuesday. Glad you found us. More in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Johnson back as we get set for the Wizards, Orlando Magic. I'm talking with head coach Brian Keefe. You know, the internet is a dangerous place. I was going over some stats, and it shows the Wizards number one points per possession when guarding ISOs. When you hear that, what does that mean to you?
It shows that our defense is improving. We've been progressing since the beginning of the season. Obviously ISO situations are hard to guard, but it shows we're doing that as a team. This shows good progress.
So 0.76 points tied with the Phoenix Suns we'll be seeing in a few days. Another stat I'll throw at you, your number one 3-point percentage when it's tightly contested. And that is obviously attributed to better shooting, but significant that when you're making those shots tightly contested.
We got some guys who are really gifted scorers in our team. You think of CJ, Trey, some of those guys that can hit some shots that are pretty tough. Just shows you the skill level those guys have.
And you mentioned Trey. Just talk about, last 6 games, they're around 15 points. He's 50% all around from the field, 3-point distance. What are you seeing from him, even beyond the shooting?
His ability to cause gravity, his movement off the ball. People have to pay attention to him. And then his ability to get in the paint once people close out to him. So he's not just a guy who just makes threes. He can make plays for his teammates, make plays for himself. He's improving by the day.
As you look at this Magic team in your mind, the big key tonight, because they can be disruptive and force turnovers. They got some guy named Banchero who gets after her on the boards. Just your thoughts on the Magic.
Yeah, big physical team. Obviously a lot of gifted guys. It'll be a tough challenge.
That's Coach Brian Keefe. Should I stay off the internet with all those stats?
Problem.
That's Brian Keefe. It never goes well with me. I got to stop scrolling. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
Are you ready for it?
Here we go. Wizards basketball on this Tuesday night. Jason Goebel, Ashley Myers-White, and Matt Myers are referees as assigned by the NBA. The Magic will be in the blue with the white pinstripes, white numbers, and Orlando across the chest. As the Wizards here tonight, the home team, looking to get some joy before getting on a bus later tonight to go to Philadelphia for tomorrow's game. The Wizards will be in the white, the blue horizontal stripe, red on the shoulders, red numbers, and Wizards across the chest. Hey, Jason Deering, sorry we couldn't get you a win for your birthday on Sunday, but so glad to have you on board from Fort Myers, Florida tonight. As always, for no hockey fans checked in, and Kevin and McLean, we can't do this without you. All right, Brian Allen, this Magic team, they put up a lot of points against the Indiana Pacers. Desmond Bane, and something Chris Wright talked about, he is becoming an elite 2-guard in the NBA.
Yeah, Chris and Glenn were talking about how who matches up with Desmond Bane will be interesting to watch tonight. Well, part of the reason why it's so important to cut off his water, there's 11 games so far this season in which he's hit 3 or more threes. The Magic are 10-1 in those games. Can't let him get hot early.
I love your goldfish tie again. The goldfish shortest memory. The Wizards have to forget about Sunday's 141-115 loss to the Timberwolves. Wendell Carter wins the tip. Black through the center circle, working left to right. Guarded by C.J. McCollum. Tristan Da Silva now. Hands off. Spinning around. Banchero knocked away. Stolen by Coulibaly to the basket. Stuffed to hands. 1 steal, 2 points. That's the way to start the game. Bilal Coulibaly swiping Paolo Banchero.
In America, we call it cookies Because in French, they say le petit biscuit, and he takes them in for 2.
Left of the circle to Silva, top of the arc. You can use Google Translate if you like. Montero right at the top of the key. To Silva out front left side for 3, drains it. Well, the response by the Magic, 3-2 Magic, 11:21 to go, first quarter of play. Long Coulibaly and bringing the ball up court through the center circle. Hash mark left wing, Trey Johnson. Center circle, McCollum spins to his right. They blitz him, bounce past center circle at the midcourt line. Johnson, top of the arc, Sarr. Right wing outside the arc, Middleton for 3, it fails. Middleton answers right back, and the Wizards lead 5-3, 10:59 to go, first quarter.
Would love to get Middleton's three-point game going. Only been 33% so far this year, but he's a better shooter than that for his career.
Silva on the right wing in the right corner. Wendell Carter for 3, no. Grab the rebound, Middleton. Head to Johnson on the right side, working right to left. Johnson, hash mark right wing. Trying to go with Montero. Back out from Middleton. Left wing outside the arc, Coulibaly. Coulibaly, head down, foul line, driving, coasting basket, make it, score! As he sliced down the lane, makes it 7-3 Wizards, 10:30 to go. Now driving Banchero in the lane, no and one, but Middleton the foul as he bumped Banchero as Banchero entered that blue paint, and Paulo Banchero will shoot 2. It's the first team foul for the Wizards.
And those are the plays that'll frustrate you if you're Brian Keefe, because Corey Kispert talked about after last game, he didn't feel like his team brought enough resistance on the defensive end, right? Great start. 3 possessions. Orlando doesn't touch the paint on those first 3 possessions. How does Banchero get into the paint, slow getting back off of a made basket? Those are the type of details you don't want to let get away from you.
Banchero makes the free throw 7-4. Hey, Joyce, good to have you on board tonight, and good to be alongside Brian Alvin as Glenn Consor is filling in for Drew Gooden on Monumental Sports Network on the television. Banchero makes the second free throw. 7-5 is our score as we get going tonight at Dave J Sports and at Brian Alvin Live, L-I-V-E. Coulibaly now drives the basket. Loaded it up off the rim. Didn't go in. Banchero left the circle. Black left wing outside the arc for 3. No. Trey Johnson secures the rebound. 7-5 Wizards. 10:09 to go. Johnson right in the circle. Off the screen. Top of the arc. Right wing. McCollum catch and shoot for 3. Off the rim. No. Sneaking in to grab the rebound. Alex Sarr. And then a loose ball foul on Banchero. Boy, that was Justin Champagnie-like, the way Alex Sarr was able to sneak in and get that rebound.
That's a sense of urgency that you're looking for. Tracking that shot as it's going up in the air. Sarr didn't have anywhere near inside position, but he tracked the flight of the ball, ran hard after it, and it looked like Banchero just wasn't playing at the same speed.
McCollum left wing into Johnson, back to McCollum, top of the arc, off a screen, probes. Now in the right corner, Coulibaly, catch and shoot for 3 off the back of the iron. No rebound, McCollum at the foul line. McCollum left at the top of the key, right wing, Middleton, crossover, takes a 3, no, and Anthony Black gets a rebound. 7-5 Wizards, 9:43 to go in the first. And Black, carrying it as he came up court, and lost control of the ball. A carry against Anthony Black, so a turnover for the Magic. Back to the Wizards.
And the carry made possible because C.J. McCollum's meeting him early near the half-court line. That's where you want your pickup points to be.
Ball knocked out of Sarr's hands. They're getting a Trey Johnson. Step back 3 off the rim, no. And the rebound secured by Banchero. Working left to right, Black scoots up court. Slow by McCollum, spins, splits 2 defenders, missed the layup, Sarr the rebound. McCollum now left the circle. Working right to left. Bounce pass, cutting Sarr to the basket, and going for the slam, and he was fouled. Boy, he cocked it back. Wendell Carter will get called for the foul. Sarr will shoot 2. We see Corey Kispert, by the way, in street clothes. That's not a concern. Just he played Sunday, played well, but just left hamstring management. We have a back-to-back. He will be ready to go tomorrow. But again, tonight, the 6th straight game without Keyshawn George.
And that break from C.J. McCollum was so nice because the spacing was a little bit off. There were 2 guys running down the middle of the floor as C.J. was coming down the left wing. He used that shot fake to move defenders just enough so they would create a passing lane for Sarr, who was the trailer down the middle of the floor. Just very smart. That's having a plan from C.J.
All right, and Alex Sarr makes both free throws. 9-5 the score. Working left to right, Black, center circle. McCollum shadowing him. Brings it back in the center circle. Top of the arc, Wendell Carter. Desmond Bain, hash mark left wing, driving. Jab step to baseline left. Weaves around Johnson. Right wing, Banchero. Right corner to Silva. Open 3, scores. Good ball movement by the Magic. 9-8 Wizards. Now Now midcourt. McCollum eludes. Anthony Black, crossover right at the top of the key. Left corner, Middleton open for three. Rims out. And Banchero gets the rebound. Boy, that wanted to go down. 9-8 Wizards. Right of the circle now, Banchero. Left the circle, Black. Left wing outside the arc, Carter. Gives to Bain. Comes off a Carter screen. Back to a cutting Carter and stuff. That's called a give and go. And boy, they go. 10-9 Magic. 8:27 to go. First quarter of play here at Capital One Arena. Middleton, top of the arc. Left up top of the Star. Back to Middleton. Left Della. Dishes. Left corner, Coulibaly. Oh, good luck. Misses Middleton. Rebound. A little jump hook on the right side of the restrictor arc and missed. Oh, he was right there. Black working left to right. The Magic lead 10-9. 8:10 to go. First quarter. Banchero at the point between the circles to De Silva. Tristan De Silva out front, top of the arc. Right wing outside the arc, Carter. Banchero now posting up on Coulibaly. Down low, right block. Back it in. 6 on the clock. Back it in. Banging. Denied. Back out front. Black. 2 on the clock for 3. No. And Coulibaly, great defense on Banchero. 7:48 to go. First quarter. Wizards ball.
Coulibaly did good work early, too, pushing him farther away from the paint before the catch.
Down low, Sarr spins in the lane. Denied by Carter. Back out front it comes to Trey Johnson, working right to left. Johnson off a Sarr screen on the dribble. Throws in the right corner. Coulibaly low pass at his ankles. He catches and shoots and he's there. Oh, from the ankles to the basket. 12-10. Wizards go back on top.
Talk about an assertive start from Bilal. Already 6 shot attempts in this first quarter.
Carter, top of the arc. Now left corner, De Silva left open 3, and he's got it. Tristan De Silva, a miscommunication there. He was left wide open. 13-12 Magic. McCollum attacking De Silva. Bank and score. Well, C.J. McCollum went right at the 3-point score. Makes it 14-13.
On the other end, got to be more wary right now of De Silva. Already 3 makes from the 3-point line.
Carter, top of the yard, guarded by Sarr. Working left to right, the Magic. Black comes off the screen, goes a basket, bank, and score. As he wheeled off that screen, 15-14 Magic. Back and forth we go here in the first quarter. 6:39 to go. Now into the circle, Middleton on the dribble out front. Pressed by Carter, left elbow. Hands off to Coulibaly, left wing, and on that handoff, we're going to get an offensive foul on Chris Middleton. Wow. All right, that's going to be his second foul on Middleton, and a timeout for the Wizards. The Magic lead 15-14. Hey, JP from the Junkies is with us tonight. See, you keep your radio dial 106.7 The Fan, or maybe you're in Richmond listening. Keep your dial set. You wake up to the Junkies tomorrow morning. We appreciate, as always, the support. Allison Baugh says, hey, good measuring stick. Playing the Magic. Again, the Magic on the season, 20-16. Back in a moment at Dave J Sports, at Brian Albin Live, if you want to check in on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. As I was just talking about the Junkies, I said keep your radio dial where it is. I just dated myself. Yeah, probably most of the audience doesn't know what I'm talking about. I say dial. Just if you got it on 106.7 FM or 910 in Richmond, just keep it there. That's all you do. It's probably all digital now. Hey, listen, X9 says he's having his McNugget minute. That must be from the Capitals game last night. So I should tell you, if the Wizards win, thanks to McDonald's, it's $2.50 Big Mac only on the McDonald's app. And that is tomorrow, and of course, maybe you're listening on an app. We always appreciate that. Our Wizards' upcoming home game presented by Ticketmaster. We're back here on Friday. The New Orleans Pelicans come to town. Hope you can make it. It's Ticketmaster.com/Wizards, and it's our last game before we head out on a West Coast road trip. Tonight is also MedStar Health Mental Health Night here at Capital One Arena, and we'll have some special programming at halftime. Again, we always say it's about community and connection, and we want to keep everybody healthy. And mental health, it's Mental Health Month, but really all 12 months should be Mental Health Month. 15-14 Magic on top. 6:29 to go first quarter. Brian Albin, early impressions.
Good start in terms of cutting off the paint the first few possessions, but the Magic have started to get a little bit more comfortable, and so much focus being paid to Banchero and Bain when they're on the floor together that we've seen De Silva open in the corner a couple times.
Gogo Pataze and Noah Penda are in the game. Penda on the right wing, down low Banchero. Back it in on Coulibaly, right block, spins toward the baseline, bank, and scores. Eluding the Alex Sarr block from behind Coulibaly. 17-14 Magic, 6:08 to go here in the first quarter of play. That's the biggest lead for the Orlando Magic. On the right sideline, Johnson down low. to Sarr. Faces Bataze. A couple jab steps. He'll shoot over him and swish. 15-footer right of the lane is good by Alex Sarr. 17-16. Magic by 1. Center circle Banchero. And he went over the timeline. A backcourt violation. And that's Coulibaly met him early. He met him right as he crossed midcourt and forced him into a backcourt violation. Great stuff from Bilal.
Yeah, Banchero tiptoeing around that half-court line, and so often you see that acceleration step to try and go forward. Actually, the plant foot goes backwards, and that's what happened to Banchero there over to the other side of the line.
And again, how about Coulibaly getting these assignments? Sarr on the baseline, guarded by Bataze, hands up McCollum. McCollum cross-court, left wing outside the arc. Champagny for 3 and 2. Welcome to the game, Justin Champagny. The Wizards take the lead 19-17 with 5:30 to go in the first quarter.
We said we were going to look for the drive and kick game from the Wizards. They've done a good job of touching the paint and finding open shooters.
Teardrop runner by De Silva in the lane is no good. Rebound. Volleyballs now to De Silva. Spins, denied, deflected by Champagny. De Silva stays it on the baseline. Left wing Black. His pass goes away. It sails away. Good hustle by Justin Champagny, as always, to deflect it. As thank you, Heather McDonough says she still uses a radio dial and also, of course, an abacus, which I use to keep stats. 19-17. Wizards. Alex Sarr now, top of the arc. Cuts to his right. Right of the circle, Johnson. Top of the key. Bounce pass over. Cutting Sarr. Hang on. Slam. 2 hands. 21-17. The Wizards' biggest lead. 4 points. After the Magic had a 3-point lead, so it's a 7-0 run by the Wizards if you use your abacus. Now right wing outside the arc to Silva, guarded by Champagny off a screen. Teardrop running the lane is short. Battle for rebound. Justin Champagny secures it. 4:36 to go in the first quarter. Johnson, hash mark right wing. Back up on Sarr. He's got an open look from 3. It's there. To tell it when he released it. And the run continues. 24-17. It's now a 10-0 run for the Wizards, their biggest lead.
How about Trey Johnson playing point guard? Already 3 assists so far for Trey, finding angles.
And again, the pressure by Champagny on Sarr and the left wing on De Silva. He dribbled it out of play, so the Wizards force a turnover. Again, Heather works at NBC4. Our wonderful friends there. We keep up to date on, I think the Commanders have been doing some things.
And Dave, doesn't it just look so different right now on the defensive end, where they're picking up, how much more difficult it is for Orlando right now to try and get downhill?
Well, McCollum gets the ball knocked away by Penda, and now McCollum a backcourt violation. As Penda, that's good defense, just like the Wizards have been doing. So do unto others as you do to yourself, or something like. I lost track of the. I never was good at philosophy. You know what I'm trying to say out there.
That's the problem with you start using the abacus too much.
I know.
And then the wires get crossed.
Well, how does it go?
Math brain and English brain.
Do unto others as you.
Do unto others as others do unto you.
There you. That's what I was trying to say. All right, 24-17. Magic trying to stop this 10-0 run. Tyus Jones, our old friend, is in for Magic. Foul line back now, broken up by Coulibaly. On the right wing, though, coming up with it is Richardson. As they made some substitutions, Richardson, foul line drives. Fade in the paint over A.J. Johnson and scores off 1 foot of fade inside the foul line. That stops the Wizards' 10-0 run. 24-19 Wizards.
Jace Richardson, of course, the son of Jason Richardson, longtime NBA pro in the 90s and 2000s.
Coulibaly under the basket. His pass is deflected, stolen by Penda. Now up court Banchero in full stride. Banchero left to the top, be walled off by Bagley and Champagny. Banchero, 15 on the clock, down low Bataze. Turns, flips to the shot, gets it to go. Go Bataze. Makes it 24-21. We've got a timeout by the Wizards. All right. And now, after the Wizards had a 10-0 run, the Magic a 4-0 run. They're responding, and Brian Keefe wants to get a hold of this, or is nip it in the bud is an old phrase also. Boy, I'm bringing out the old stuff. Going to be popular in the nursing homes tonight. Back in a moment. 24-21 Wizards on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Brian Allen. 24-21 Wizards on top of the Magic. Hey, this is a great deal. You can catch the Wizards at an unbeatable price. Select Wizards home games this season. Listen up to this. You can get 2 tickets for just $25, so grab a friend. Heck, for that price, grab somebody you don't like. That's a great deal. $25. Grab your tickets at WashingtonWizards.com/2 for $25. All right, 24-21 Wizards. 3:15 to go here in the first quarter. Again, an impressive 10-0 run by the Wizards, but now Brian Allen clearly saw some slippage, if you will, and he's addressing that right now.
Well, first I'm addressing this whole thing about bring someone you don't like. If you bring someone you don't like at that price, you're still finding a way to make that person pay, right?
Correct. Okay.
Just need to make sure I understand the strategy that we're doing here. But yeah, in terms of the slippage, Dave, it can be just little things, like getting cross-matched. And what we just saw was Bub Carrington getting cross-matched onto Goga Bitadze. Goga Bitadze gets 2 feet at the top of the restricted arc. The entry pass isn't hard enough, and once the ball gets to Goga right in top of the restricted arc with Bub on him, it's over, right? So automatic 2 points. So it's making sure those switches don't happen. If they do happen, that you're pushing Goga further away from the basket so he's not getting such a deep post touch.
He's an impressive guy. Passed him in the hallway tonight. He with that beard, intimidating. All right, Will Riley's in, hash mark right wing. A.J. Johnson, edge of the circle. On the dribble, looking to break down Jace Richardson. Top of the arc, Bagley. Now Carrington out front. Cuts to his right. Probes. Right side of the lane. Right elbow fade. Scores. Oh, Bub's got the stroke back. 26-21. Nice response off the timeout to stop the Magic 4-0 run.
Just nice job of probing and then finding his way to that 12-foot jumper that he likes so much.
Richardson, Capital One Arena, will go on the right side, guarded by A.J. Johnson. In the center circle, bounce pass, broken up by Champagnie. Bain gets it. Foul line in the paint, flips up the shot. No and one, but Will Riley a foul. 26-21 the score. And by the way, Desmond Bain, who's coming off 31 points, has yet to take a shot tonight from the field. As that will be the Wizards' second team foul. Not a lot of fouls in this first quarter for either team. So Bain to shoot 2. As Jason Deering points out, Justin Champagnie, he just comes off the bench. 4 minutes, he's got 3 points and 1 rebound, but sometimes it's just crazy numbers that he'll get in a limited or in a quick fashion. It doesn't take him long to get involved in the game. And again, he is, we were talking about this yesterday, just a year ago he was on a 2-way contract.
Yeah, hadn't even been converted to a standard NBA contract. That didn't happen until March, and it's just been his effort and persistence that's gotten him to where he is now.
Riley fades at the foul line. It's off the front of the rim, and Noah Penda gets a rebound. 26-23 Wizards through the center circle. Bain, he will take a 3 out front right side off the back of the iron. Long rebound chased down by Will Riley. Over to Bub Carrington, working right to left. Carrington right of the circle. On the dribble, at the point between the circles, picked up by Tyus Jones, former Wizard. Champagnie, right elbow, going to the basket, flips to the shot. No offensive foul. As Champagnie went into Bitadze and knocked down Bitadze. So Bitadze takes the charge with 2:02 to go here in the first quarter. 26-23 Wizards.
Yeah, it looks like they got him for using his off arm as he was hanging in the air to try and make sure he created enough separation so the shot wouldn't get blocked. But unfortunately, when you extend that off arm, you're going to get called for it.
Edge of the circle, Bitadze. Bounce past Richardson. Off Bitadze, screen, probes in the lane. Puts up his shot. Fouled by A.J. Johnson. He was draped on his side. 26-23 Wizards. So Jace Richardson will go to the free throw line. His dad, as you mentioned, was a great player in the NBA. Now Jace Richardson trying to make a name for himself with the Orlando Magic. 1:51 to go in the first quarter.
And that's a bit of a scouting report foul there because, you know, they're running that play to get Jace Richardson to his dominant left hand. So you need to make sure you're contesting him and sort of riding him from his shooting shoulder. If you're riding him on that off off shoulder, he's going to have that ability to jump into you, create the contact. Can't do that when you're on the shooting shoulder.
All right, 26-25 as both free throws are made. Working right to left, Bob Carrington. 1:48 left in this first quarter of your basketball night. Carrington left double, floats it Bagley, catches restrictor arc, stripped the ball by Jones. Center circle Bain between two defenders to the basket. Blocked by Champagnie, a chase down block. A.J. Johnson to Carrington, left wing outside the arc for three off the back of the iron. No. Long rebound collected by Desmond Bain. 26-25 Wizards. Bain, head down, foul line, going to the basket, bank and score. Came down the right side, and he was determined not to let happen what had happened before. 27-26. Carrington, hash mark right wing, out front to Champagnie. Left to the top of the Bagley as the Wizards work right to left. He faces Batazzi, couple jab steps, head down, bang, spins, jump hook, left hand, no, and one, but a foul by Batazzi. And Bagley, just the way he's attacking, the way he's played this entire season, and at times, he's been a center, and that's the center right now, for example. Yeah, that's really out of position. That's not in his typical position previous to the Wizards.
You'd think of him more of as a power forward, but yeah, in terms of, Len called it hammer and nails with Champagnie and Bagley, and I think the Justin Champagnie effect, can show up with a guy like a Marvin Bagley, where you see how hard Justin Champagnie's working in terms of all the little things, and that by doing all those little things, letting nothing else affect your effort, will create opportunity for you. He is playing that way this season with that type of nonstop energy, and it's been a great bounce-back year for Bagley.
And he makes both free throws, 28-27 Wizards. Chase Hughes is with us tonight. He'll be talking about offensive improvement coming up in between the first and second quarter. Jones whips it to Richardson in the center circle, guarded by Carrington. Wizards picking up out high. Bain, foul line, drives, underhand, bank and score. His second straight layup. 29-28 Magic, 49 seconds left first quarter. Carrington, Capital One Arena logo on the right side. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Carrington, guarded by Tyus Jones, comes off a Bagley screen. Top of the key, foul line, gets in the paint, denied, spins, fades at the foul line and scores! Oh, Bob Carrington finds a way, 30-29 Wizards, 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Really well defended pick and roll by the Magic, and Carrington just finding a way to make a tough bucket.
8 second every shot in the game clock. Shot clock at 12. Floor is spread. Bain in the center circle, guarded by Champagnie. Cuts to his left. Left elbow. Down to the left block. Denied. On the wing, Richardson. 3 on the clock. Foul line. Gets in the paint. Flips to the shot. No. Battle for the rebound. Riley has it. 5 seconds left. Carrington swallowing through traffic. Right wing Johnson spins off 1 foot inside the arc. Shoots. No. And what it counted, had it gone in. Hey, the Wizards put up 30 on the Magic, but the Magic scored 29. We got a tight one going here tonight at Capital One Arena. At Dave J Sports, at Brian Alvin Live. If you want to check in, when we come back, Chase Hughes will get some of his thoughts. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Brian Alvin. 30-29 Wizards at the end of one. Chase Hughes from Monumental Sports Network, always part of our radio party at home. And Chase, there are a lot of positives you can point to with this Wizards team. You don't look at the overall record, you look at what is developing, and that's on both ends of the floor right now.
Yeah, Dave. So the Wizards struggle generating paint touches because they're a young team with a lot of guys working on their handle. They're trying to get stronger. However, one thing they're way better at than last year is generating assists off drives. Last season, they were 30th in the NBA in assist percentage on drives, and this year they're 10th. Now, the guy leading the charge is Keyshawn George, who is out tonight. But if you remember, he said on Media Day that his number one goal this season was to make better decisions once he got into the paint, and it sounds like he's doing just that.
Well, and that's a great point. He did say that, and he's backed up everything he talked about before the season, and we can't wait to get him back on the court. We think it's going to be soon. And Bagley, top of the arc, getting out with the hip flexor injury tonight. Now Johnson, working right to left. Trey Johnson. Left corner, Champagnie, catch and shoot for three. It's there. Oh, it's not that smooth shot. 33-29. And that's another thing the Wizards better at this year? Three-point shooting.
Yeah, over 36% as a team. But right now, Trey Johnson doing such a good job of looking opposite and finding the corners. Already 4 assists for Trey.
Bain in the lane, dumps to Carter, knocked loose by Johnson. Bagley covered him, pass on the wing for Jace Richardson. He stepped on the sideline. It'll be Wizards ball. Already you can just sense the defensive intensity is different tonight than it was Sunday.
Different level of physicality.
Lob for Champagnie under the basket. Bang. No. Followed by Riley. Do we have an N1? No. The basket by Riley is not going to count. Champagnie was fouled. So Jace Richardson gets called for the foul. Champagnie will shoot 2. 33-29 Wizards. As we just get going with Scott and Courtney from Greenbelt here in the second quarter.
One of my favorite things about Justin Champagnie was after he earned that contract last year, his exit interview going into the offseason, he was asked about what did he want to improve. And he talked about, I want to improve what I already am doing well and get better at that. I want to improve at the things that are my role. So I want to track offensive rebounds even better than I'm already doing. I want to make corner threes at a better rate. That's just knowing your role and playing to it.
Split the free throws 34-29, but he has 7 points in 7 minutes. Tyus Jones left the circle for Carter, top of the key, who set a screen, but then he traveled. All right, well, he rolled after setting the screen. And then Wendell Carter, happy feet, 34-29 Wizards. And the Wizards' biggest lead, 7 in this one. The biggest lead for the Magic, 3. Right at the circle, Carrington, the Capital One Arena logo. Johnson, Trey Johnson, left elbow, shoots, scores. Oh, he's a shooter. And he's making plays tonight, too. 36-29, matching the biggest lead. Bain getting downhill, left elbow to the basket. No N1 as he tried to finish with the right hand on the left side. But Bain got downhill quickly. And Justin Champagnie gets called for the foul. That put the Wizards' defense on their heels.
And that's one where all the contact was initiated by Desmond Bain. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a potential challenge here. And Brian Keefe called the timeout.
You called it. Brian Albin, Coach Brian Albin, you called it. All those great years in Connecticut playing basketball paying off for our listeners tonight. All right. Challenge, and we'll see if Brian's right and Brian Keefe is. Both Brian's are right. Albin and Keefe. We'll see when we come back.
He spells it with an I, though, so we're kind of rivals, even though we're on the same team tonight.
No, I know. You spell your name differently. I'm Dave, and we're back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Brian Albin, a coach's challenge. Brian Keefe challenging the call on a foul against Justin Champagnie. Hey, we're brought to you by Capital One, offering checking and savings accounts with no fees or minimums. What's in your wallet? We certainly hope it's Capital One. And Hello Fresh, nutrition that fits your ambition. Factor, eat like a pro. And January is Mental Health Awareness Month. Focusing on your mental health can make a big impact on your overall wellness. Performing small acts of kindness, that's one tip for positive change. MedStar Health, it is how we treat people, and we will be bringing you a special program at halftime to get you mentally healthy and know that there's always help out there. And that's why we always say it is about community connection, and we certainly hope this brings some joy into your life. Wizards basketball on the radio. Robinhood brings you the official numbers, the official brokerage partner, and Jersey Patch sponsor of the Washington Wizards. Both teams are shooting well, 54% for the Wizards, 52% for the Magic. They're led by Tristan DeSilva with 9 points. He's made 3 3-pointers. The Wizards led by Alex Sarr with 9 points.
There is illegal contact by Johnson to the left forearm of Bain. Therefore, the challenge will be successful, and Orlando will have 2 shots.
So they're switching the foul from Champagnie to A.J. Johnson, or Trey Johnson, I guess, for reaching. We're going to see here.
Wow.
That was not much from Trey. It clearly live. You know, they got Desmond Bain the ball going downhill on a handoff action. So Champagnie couldn't slide in front of him. He's running side by side, but Champagnie never left his actual plane. So to create the separation, Bain used his shooting arm to push off of Champagnie and then go go up for the shot. They're saying that Johnson fouled before the push-off of Champagnie. I think the basketball gods are saying it should not have gone that way because Bane missed the first.
I think that, and Justin Champagnie actually was saying he believes in the basketball gods, and so do we.
You have to.
You have to.
You play the sport. You got to believe in the gods of the sport.
All right, the gods was 50% on us that time as Bane makes 1 of 2. 36-30 Wizards, 10:46 to go. And again, that's what they can do with the review now. They can look at it and say, well, wait a minute, the foul was here. Johnson Trace stumbles into the paint. Now Riley, right corner. Working right to left, guarded by Bane. Puts the ball, hits in the paint, spins, right block, spins again. Underhand scoop shot, no. Bagley keeps it alive, but brought in by Wendell Carter. Boy, Riley wiggles and almost finds a way. The lob now for Jonathan Isaac, and landing on top of him is Justin Champagnie, and Champagnie will get called for the foul.
And that time, that is 100% a foul on Justin Champagnie.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. That'll be his second team foul for the Wizards. It'll be side out for the Magic. As Jonathan Isaac was getting a lob from Tyus Jones as Isaac's in for the Magic. Out for the left side, Isaac off the screen. Bane gets his foul line. So cutting Carter, right of the strict arc, flips for the shot. No. Battle for the rebound. Ferocious. Bagley tips it to Carrington. Carrington working right to left. Whips it. Riley, right wing ball fake. Drives on Bane. Bounce pass under the basket. Bagley in traffic. Grabs it. Spins. Left-handed jump up. No. And rebound brought in by Isaac. Working left to right. Jace Richardson goes at Carrington. Goes around Carrington. Then from behind, Carrington knocks it away, but it comes out to Jones, right wing for 3, no. Riley, a push on Jonathan Isaac for the battle for the rebound, so Riley will get called for the foul. So that'll be the third team foul on the Wizards. Side out for the Magic. 36-30, Wizards on top by 6. Here with 9:54 to go, second quarter.
Sometimes physicality and playing with it will involve committing a foul, and that time Will Riley has a choice. Don't play with physicality and just let Isaac get the rebound and a layup, or see if you can get away with a push in the back.
Bane down the baseline left, leans in, throws out front, intercepted by Trey Johnson. Johnson to his left, Carrington leaves it for Johnson, left wing for 3, rims out, Champagnie rebound, Champagnie put back, bank and score! Justin cleans it up. The Wizards match their biggest lead, 38-30.
And Will Riley hustling down the floor made Isaac have to pick between 2 rebounders, which is why Champagnie was alone for it.
Carter for 3 in the corner. No. Bagley had the rebound, gets it to Carrington, ahead to Trey Johnson. Ashmark left wing. He's confident. Not that time, though, off the rim. Carter the rebound. 9:13 to go. Up court now. Bane knocks down Carrington. No foul. Bane shoots a 3 and scores. 38-33. Wizards on top. Carrington might have just been off balance, but not a popular call inside Capital One Arena. Champagnie at the point between the circles. Bounce past Bagley, truck into the basket, stripped of the ball by Isaac, throws it out front to Bane. Midcourt Tyus Jones working left to right. 38-33 Wizards. Jones, lob down low, Carter. He's going to back in, slapped away by Justin Champagnie. Trey Johnson gets it, then drives into a double team, passes it back to Carrington, who gives it to Champagnie. They break the press, foul line, bounce past Bagley, weaves, jump hook, left hand, right into the restrictor arc, scores. 40-33 Wizards, and the Magic call a timeout.
And off the turnover, Orlando was gambling in the backcourt, trying to get it back. And by doing that, they overcommitted numbers. They were only 2 back once the Wizards escaped that initial wave of pressure. Made for a really easy 3-on-2 break, and a nice job by Bagley to finish it off.
And the Wizards lead by 7 with 8:28 to go here in the second quarter. Adam, always good to have you on board. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Got it back with Brian Albin as we say hello to Paul Davis listening tonight in Bethesda. Let us know how you're finding us and some of your thoughts on this Wizards team at Dave J Sports. At Brian Albin Live is how you connect with us. Ben Rabies along with us tonight, along with our Director of Engineering, or is it Vice President? I keep forgetting your title. Tim Parker is always here with us as the Wizards by 7. And right now the Wizards, like the Magic, shooting shooting well. This game has been competitive. You look at the difference here. In part, the Wizards in this tight game have had more shot attempts, and they're 15 of 31 versus 11 of 24 for the Orlando Magic, and that's part of the story. Free throws are negligible. To 7 of 8, the Magic, 5 of 6, the Wizards so far.
It's the turnovers for me so far, which is where the Wizards have really been able to, poke in front, forcing 8 Orlando turnovers and converting them into 12 points on the other end. One of the things the Wizards have had trouble with, or at least had trouble with more so in the first month and a half of the season, was when they forced turnovers. They weren't always converting as frequently as you'd like. 12 points off of 8 turnovers, that's a much better ratio, and that's part of why the Wizards have this lead.
And again, this Wizards team, they are built for defense. That is the goal. And when you think about, you have Coulibaly out front, Sarr at the back. Now lob by Richardson for Carter, broken up by Bagley. Top points ahead now to Champagnie. Marvin Bagley breaking up the alley-oop. Now McCollum down to the right block. Fade, shoots over Black, high arcing swish. C.J. McCollum makes it 42-33. The Wizards' biggest lead, 9 points. Now up front, Carter to Jace Richardson. Crossover, step back over Carrington for 3. Wow. Big shot by Jace Richardson. A crossover that lost Carrington. 42-36 to score. Wizards 7:44 to go, second quarter.
Pretty much all of Orlando's offense is coming off of curls and dribble handoffs. Wizards need to do a better job busting up some of the handoffs.
McCollum right at the top of the key, guarded by Paulo Banchero. His step back 3, no. Rebound Anthony Black. Black spins up court. They're cutting Banchero, slam, right hand, and 1. McCollum the foul. So just roped it up court to Banchero. 42-38 as the Magic are coming back on a 5-0 run right now, trying to continue it with Paulo Banchero at the free throw line. Wizards will have Carrington, McCollum, Coulibaly, Bagley in the game, and also checking in Chris Middleton as Justin Champagnie goes out with Justin Champagnie numbers. Brian, 9 points in 11 minutes.
And 2 rebounds, but beyond the scoring, only 2 rebounds show up in the stat sheet. How many hands did he get on balls? Whether it was tipping a rebound to somebody else, keeping a ball alive, getting a steal, just felt like he was everywhere.
Banchero misses a free throw, and the rebound tip to Carrington. Now up court Middleton. Hash mark right wing, downhill, spins in the lane, falls, gets a pass to McCollum, left wing outside the arc for 3. No, Bagley flies in, goes out the rebound, and went off Banchero. Banchero wants to challenge that, saying it was off Bagley. We'll see if the Magic actually do that. It stays with the Wizards. 42-38 Wizards as Alex Sarr replaces Marvin Bagley. Always active while he was in there. Baseline right, Sarr to inbound the ball. 42-38 on lead. Middleton on the baseline right. Now he lost the ball, but it comes to Coulibaly. Carrington, edge of the circle. Carrington, crossover for 3. Swims out and rebound, Wendell Carter. 7:03 to go here in the second quarter. Magic on a 5-0 run. Banchero, right side of the lane. Left wing, Jace Richardson. Head down, drive. Gets under the basket. Bounce pass right wing, Banchero. Out front, Black has a look from 3. Off the rim. Rebound, Wendell Carter, baseline left. Behind him, Black in the left corner for 3. No. And the rebound, Carrington. Carrington darting up court. Bounce pass Middleton. Back to Carrington to the basket. Bank. No. Middleton rebound. Put back. No, but a foul.
And that's just a great job of running from the Wizards. I mean, Bub Carrington, as soon as he grabbed that rebound, went into a full sprint, leads to a 2-on-1. Orlando just slower getting back. In between Carrington and Middleton, they were able to do enough to get a trip to the free throw line.
Middleton at the line to shoot 2. That's the second team foul on the Magic. Yup, good to have you checking in on the Wizards app. Remember, you can listen on the Washington Wizards app. We've got a button that says radio, and we're always there for you. That's our home for Wizards Radio 24/7. A lot of good features on Wizards Radio 24/7 when there's not a game. Middleton makes the free throw, 43-38. Wizards with 6:36 to go in the second quarter. Again, it's something we probably don't talk about enough, is just how important both Middleton and McCollum, as the type of veterans they are, as the glue, the cement for this young Wizards team. 44-38. Banchero now left wing. Wizards with a 6-point lead. Left to Tavit Carter. Hands up to Richardson. Whips it left wing of the hash mark. Banchero head down. Drives the basket. Hayes banks. No. Sarr defended without fouling. Now McCollum in the center circle. McCollum foul line. He drives. Shovels to Sarr. Sarr flips to the shot. Short. Now went off the front of the rim. Banchero the rebound. Up court now Black. Black top of the arc as the Magic works left to right. Black fakes the three. Gives to Carter. Just to his right. Morgan left to right the Magic. Banchero edge of the circle. Paolo. Step back three over Coulibaly. No. Middleton the rebound. Wizards 6-point lead. 5:53 to go in the second. Middleton in the center circle. Now top of the arc. Right by Black. Comes off a star screen. Black stays with him. Stop, start. Right block to the basket. He draws a foul. He wanted to take advantage of that matchup.
I like seeing Chris Middleton getting aggressive, looking for his offense. And on the other end, what we just saw is what Glenn Consor would say, KYP. Paolo Banchero, Bilal Coulibaly goes under the screen. Why does he do that? Banchero is a 26% shooter from three. Let him take all these step-back threes he wants until he starts hurting you. By knowing your personnel, have a possession that just ends up essentially wasted for Orlando by them shooting themselves in their own foot, taking a bad shot.
That's Brian Allen with me tonight as Middleton makes the free throw. 7-point Wizard lead, 45-38. The Magic's biggest lead was 3 when it was 17-14. Middleton makes both. Hey, John Service, good to have you on board tonight. As the Wizards trying to get back in the win column. Again, 6 of 11 games they won before stubbed their toe against Minnesota. Now Penda, left of the strict arc, spins, guarded by McCollum, jump hook, no. Rebound battle, Middleton had it, lost it, McCollum scoops it up. As Carter was able to swipe it away from Middleton, McCollum got the loose luggage. McCollum bounced past Sarr, foul line, spins, lost the ball, and coming over to De Silva, 46-38 Wizards. Left wing Noah Penda, back to De Silva at the point. Banchero, now from the right side, we're going to break down McCollum. Now splits 2 defenders, feeds baseline right, short jumper by De Silva, no, and Alex Sarr the rebound. Middleton, right to left, up to McCollum, left wing. Step back 3 for CJ, it's there! He is 3J McCollum, 49-38. Wizards with their biggest lead, 4:49 to go, second quarter. Tristan De Silva now, edge of the circle for the Magic. Nash marking the right wing, Banchero. Guarded by Coulibaly. Banchero on the dribble. Spins to his right. Backs into a wall with Middleton. Now foul line, Black drives. Bank and score. Tough shot with Carrington all over him. 49-40. Wizards up court. CJ McCollum. Hash mark right wing. Goes at Penda. Driving. The restrict arc. Shovels to cutting Coulibaly. Couple pump fakes denied. Right wing outside the arc. Alex Sarr for 3. It's there. Coulibaly denied under the basket. But Sarr found joy beyond the arc. And the Wizards are up by 12. 52-40.
And good things happen when the ball touches the paint. Between McCollum and Coulibaly, they do enough to sink in that Orlando defense. It made for an easy kick out to Alex Sarr, who had enough time and space to let it fly. And Sarr's hit his first 2 threes of the night. Look at him, 12 points, 4 boards. Just a nice start for Alex.
Nice start for Alex, a nice start for the Wizards. Hopefully a nice start for you tonight as you're listening. Wherever you are, 52-40 Wizards. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson, Brian Allen back in Washington, Capital One Arena. Where we remind you, HelloFresh, low-level nutrition delivered to your door, ready when you are. Factor, eat like a pro. And let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
You're listening to Washington Wizards basketball on WFED Washington and W232DG Sterling. Federal News Network, your home for Wizards basketball.
4:11 left until halftime. Magic bring the ball up court. Batase, top of the arc, hands off Banchero. Banchero goes at Coulibaly, right elbow, banging, turns, right block, spins, stripped the ball by Carrington, but we have a whistle. As Coulibaly not giving an inch. That'll be Bud Carrington on that swipe, getting called for a foul. Well, it just is so impressive impressive how Coulibaly handles such a big physical player like Paolo Banchero.
And so much of that is about doing your work early. You can't take that first bump 9 feet from the basket and expect to win the battle against Banchero. You have to make sure that first bump happens around the elbow or higher, and that's where Coulibaly is meeting him, and that's making it easier for help like Carrington's to come down, collapse, and pinch down on Banchero.
Who makes one of 2 free throws, 52-41. And by the way, it was a 15 foul on the Wizards, so the Magic in the bonus. McCollum off the screen by Sarr, foul line, right wing Middleton, catch and shoot for 3, no, and getting a rebound Black through traffic. Anthony Black, foul line, ball fake, kind of slam, and went off the front of the rim. Sarr now behind the back dribbles, he comes up court, shovels McCollum at the point. McCollum left elbow on the dribble, chased out of the paint. McCollum brings it back, top of the arc, goes up Batase, drives, bank, and score! CJ McCollum went right back at the Magic, 54-41. Wizards, 3:25 to go. Here in the second quarter, the Wizards are up by 13.
And he used his dribble to probe the defense until he got a switch he liked, and then once he found it on Batase, he went to work.
Anthony Black out front, drives, right elbow, floats up Batase's stuff. Escorts it to the basket, 54-43 Wizards. 3:03 to go, second quarter. Working right to left, the Wizards come up court. Middleton, Capital One Arena logo on the right side. McCollum, top of the arc, 4-3. No and one. But Anthony Black got him from the side.
It's like they're going to say it was on the catch before he went into his shooting motion.
And that's the 14th foul. So it'll be side out for the Wizards. A good first half, though, for this Washington team.
You want to talk about growth. We're looking for this young group to be growing on a night-to-night basis. Part of the way you can measure growth is against previous opponents. And the first time we saw the Magic back in November here in Capital One Arena, the Wizards only hit 9 threes the whole game. Already hit 7 so far this half.
Middleton, high arcing swish, baseline right. 56-43, steal by Coulibaly on the inbound. Bang, no. Battle 3 rebound, Coulibaly still grabs it. Coulibaly getting around to Silva. He's double teamed, throws left wing McCollum. McCollum left block, hangs, bangs, and scores! And scores! Up below, Coulibaly steal, leads to McCollum 2. 58-43, biggest lead. Now Banchero wheels into the lane, flips to the shot, no. But Batase the foul. That quiets the celebration, 58-45, Wizards.
What a contest by Alex Sarr to force the miss on Banchero in the first place.
Middleton at the point between the circles, Alex Sarr now. Top of the arc, brought up by Batase up front. Sarr drives. Left of strict arc, hangs, banks, no, but draws the foul on Batase. And this is part of Alex Sarr's development. This is what he's been doing all year. He's not fading, he's attacking, he's being aggressive.
He's trusting his first step more, and he's trusting his ball handling more. And when you trust those two things, you're more confident getting downhill quickly, putting the defense in a compromised situation. That's how you get to the free throw line more.
Chase Hughes from Money Island Sports Network will be talking about Alex Sarr and Marvin Bagley before we go to halftime. Free throw made by Alex Sarr, so 59-43. As Alex Sarr expands his resume, he's got 13 points, now 14. 60-45 Wizards, again matching their biggest lead so far here in the first half. Batase in the center circle, pressured by Sarr. Hands off to Desmond Bane. Foul line, right wing to Silva for 3, rims out. Good box out by Sarr, got the rebound. Desmond Bane has been kept fairly quiet tonight. Now in the right corner, McCollum, step back inside the arc, in and out, almost went in. Marking left, right, Banchero. Now Banchero right in the center circle. A minute 33 left. Bane does have 10 points now, though. Right elbow, Banchero rises, shoots, scores. Paulo Banchero has 9 now. 60-47 Wizards. A minute 21 to go until halftime. McCollum through the center circle with a big Wizard logo. Middleton bounce that Sarr, low one, but he collects, spins, jump hook, right hand, and the restricted arc on the left side, and he scores. Alex Sarr makes it 62-47. And Alex Sarr just keeps adding to his total. He's got 16 in the first half.
And how quickly he's moving off his catches is what's enabling him to put the defense in a play from behind type scenario.
Right wing Bane, ball fake, steps to his left. Trey Johnson stays with him. Banchero out front, 3 on the clock. He's going to try a 3 and drain a 3. 62-50. Good defense by Trey on Desmond Bane. And that opened up the 3, though, for Banchero.
You live with those. He has to make one before you worry about him shooting it.
Now Middleton, hash mark on the left wing. Crossover. He takes a 3. That's no good. Sarr battles for the rebound. Goes through his hands and coming over to Black. 31 seconds left. First half. Right corner to Silva. Down low Batazzi on the right block. Back up front Bane. As the Magic work left to right. Then Carrington, or rather Coulibaly knocks it loose. Middleton to Trey Johnson. Johnson, 18 on the clock. Shot clock is off. So Coulibaly forcing the steal. McCollum center circle. Floor is spread. The Wizards lead by 12. Banchero's on McCollum. Sarr sets the screen. 4 seconds. McCollum cuts to his right. 1 second. McCollum right elbow. Shoots. No. He waited a little bit too long, but that's okay. The Wizards up by 12 as we reach halftime. Chase Hughes, 62-50. The Wizards are on top. Nicely done by the home team.
Yeah, Dave, big first half for Alex Sarr, and both he and Marvin Bagley are having good years. And one category they are a dynamic duo in is putbacks. The Wizards lead the NBA in points off putbacks per game this season at about 9 per contest, and both Sarr and Bags account for about a third of that total. Now, what's interesting is the Wizards aren't particularly good at offensive rebounding. They're tied for 22nd in the NBA. They are just really good at making those second chances count.
Well, that's good stuff, and that shows hustle, determination, and grit.
And I think to what Chase is talking about, one of the characteristics that both Sarr and Bagley have in common, they are both great second jumpers. That ability to go up, grab a rebound, and go right back up off the floor, beat the defense off the floor the second time. They both share that ability.
All right, we've reached halftime. Now, Chase Hughes, tonight it's Mental Health Night, as you know, presented by MedStar Health. So normally we have NBA trivia with Jonathan Morris, but I'm going to give your brain a break tonight, Chase Hughes. That's part of our mental health month. So
I need it after the last few.
Yeah, so you can relax.
All right.
We'll resume normal programming of trivia tomorrow night. But when we come back, more on, we want to help you with mental health on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Big Johnson back with Brian Albert. Here we go. Second half. Your thoughts on a Wizards team that did get points off turnovers? That's part of what they want to do.
Yeah, I on the Power Hour earlier today talked about how there's been too many games where the Wizards have lost the extras, meaning all 3 of points off turnovers, second chance points, and free throws made in the same game. Wizards won all 3 in the first half. A big reason they have a 12-point lead.
Working left to right. Middleton guarded by Banchero. Out front Sarr. Top of the arc. Carter is on him. Give them McCollum. Point between the circles. 9 on the clock. Sarr gives back to McCollum. McCollum's runner. High arcing swish. Left of the lane. C.J. McCollum is finding his form. And McCollum now, as they go up 64-50, has 13 points. 14-point Wizard lead. Their biggest lead, 15. Bane in the paint. Right corner to Silva. They work it out front. Black. Top of the arc. Carter for 3. Off the rim. Middleton collects the rebound. Up court now, C.J. McCollum. McCollum goes at Black. Foul line. Teardrop runner in the paint. Doesn't get the touch. Banchero the rebound. Center circle. Runs into a wall of Wizards. Left wing to Silva. Slashing Black to the basket. Banks and scores. Eludes the trailing block attempt by Alex Sarr. 64-52. 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Now hash mark on the left wing. Johnson, Trey off the screen. Right elbow. His runner short off the rim. Wendell Carter gets a rebound. 64-52 Wizards. Banchero, hash mark on the right wing. Right sideline on the dribble. Backs in on McCollum. Mismatch. Turns the baseline right. Air ball. Battle for the air ball. And it went off Alex Sarr. It'll stay with the Magic. So that mismatch did not work to Banchero's advantage.
Only only 2-2 in these first 80 seconds of the quarter, but it feels like Orlando's bringing a little bit more intensity already.
Bain now drives baseline, goes reverse. The shot attempt is not going to count, but they're going to call a foul on Trey Johnson. So he's side out for the Magic. Critical third quarter. As Faisal Hassan points out, impressive first half, but this third quarter now. The Magic, they're 20-16. They believe they're a playoff team. They want to show it. Now from Black right of the center circle. Even with Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs out with injury. Bain left the circle off a screen, left block into the restricted arc, trailing to Silva in the lane, puts up a short jumper. As Bain, only attention on him as he got into the restricted arc. 64-54. Left the circle, Trey Johnson. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul on Desmond Bain. So 10-point Wizard lead, 10-16 to go. It'll be side out for the Wizards. Again, working left to right.
And Bain's trying to be more physical right now with Trey Johnson at the point of the screen, trying to make sure he can't come cleanly off of that screener's shoulder. That time they caught him in the act, but he was successful the first time Trey got into that floater.
McCollum into Trey Johnson out from Middleton. Bounce pass, foul on drive. Hangs and scores on to Silva. In the lane, 2 points in the bucket, 66-54 Wizards.
And more than anything, that's where Alex Sars made his biggest improvement so far this season. Catching that ball on the roll and not thinking about pulling up from 9 feet, thinking about getting all the way to the basket and not being shy of the contact that's going to meet him there.
And he makes the free throw, 67-54 Wizards. Working right to left, so that's now 19 points for Alex Sar. Center circle, Black, though, cutting Bain to the basket, bank, and score. That was a free pass. 67-56. Koulibaly, Capital One logo, right side. Center circle, Middleton. Cuts to his left. Sar, hash mark on the left wing. Started by Wendell Carter out front. Give now into the circle, Trey Johnson. We're going to break down Bain. Trying to come up with Sar screen. Johnson, right elbow, gets in traffic. Throws back up on Sar. Through his hands. Loose ball, De Silva gets it. In traffic, De Silva controls it. Gives the Bain center circle. Left corner, Black, catch and shoot for three. No. And the rebound, Middleton. Bounce pass head to Koulibaly. Now McCollum right of the lane. McCollum got inside. Bank and score. Well done on the break. The ball barely touched the floor, and the Wizards go up 69-56.
Last 3 weeks, Wizards have been doing a much better job getting the ball and advancing it early.
Center circle, Bain cuts to his right. Right elbow, lost the dribble. Sar scoops it up. Sar racing up court. Left elbow, Euro step. Bank, no, but a foul. As he tried to put it with the right hand on the left side over the shoulder. So Wendell Carter gets called for the foul. His second. And the third team foul already on the Magic. We have 9:02 to go here in the third quarter of play.
This Orlando team coming into tonight's game, the leaders in the NBA in free throws attempted per game. They get to the charity stripe 29 times a night. And so far tonight, it's actually the Wizards who have taken more free throws. These will be the 14th and 15th attempts to just 11 for Orlando. As Sar hits the first to give them 20 points for the night.
Well, again, you talked about the Wizards' points off turnovers, free throws, and the second chance points. Those are three categories to keep an eye on if you're using your own abacus to play along with us. 71-56. So Sar has 21 points now. 8:56 to go, third quarter. Bain in the center circle. Started by Trey Johnson out front. Top of the arc, Banchero. Banchero, left elbow, drive. Pass on the lane, intercepted by Middleton. Middleton, left to right, bounce pass, Koulibaly, foul line, runs into Desmond Bain. Like a defensive back, Bain backtracking. He gets called for the foul.
Great job on the defensive end by Chris Middleton, being low enough off the ball and help side defense that he was going to be able to help on the dunker spot, which was Wendell Carter Jr., but also being able to react quickly enough to the pass out to the corner. And he was sort of hidden, stepped into that passing lane right as it was delivered. More points off turnovers as Koulibaly makes the first, now 19 points off turnovers for the Wizards.
So Koulibaly makes both and makes it 73-56. Working right to left, Anthony Black. 8:38 to go in the third. Black left elbow. Left corner to Silva. Middleton gets out them. He drives. Oh, stuff it. Now, Middleton had to get out the cover to Silva on the 3 attempt, and that gave him the opportunity to go right to the basket. Center circle now, McCollum, 73-58. Top of the arc, sorry, hands on McCollum. Left wing for 3. It's there, and one, as Anthony Black fouled him from behind.
They're waving off the basket and saying it was on the floor.
All right. Well, that's one way to kill a party, but
I promise it wasn't me who did it. It was the official.
So, yeah, a bit of a buzzkill there, and some boos that go around Capital One Arena. So McCollum, though, will shoot. They see 2
with Orlando in the penalty.
Oh, yes, of course. Gotcha. Yeah, why would you shoot free throws on a made basket? That doesn't make any sense. It caught me off guard, and that's the point. Magic already, as you were talking about, they get to the free throw line, but they are the team that is in the penalty.
And they surrender plenty on the year. They allow opponents 25 free throw attempts per night. So what should be a major edge for them because of how good they are at getting to the line, it often bites them back.
McCollum makes the first, another one coming, 74-58, 75-58. Wizards on top, 8:18 to go here in the third quarter of play. Wizards' biggest lead, 17. Now out front, McCollum fouls Black, and that'll be the third team foul. No second team foul on the Wizards, pardon me.
5 called on Orlando in the first 4 minutes. If you're the Wizards, kind of have to expect some might be coming your way to level it out.
Black right at the foul line, floats up Carter, and then I think Trey Johnson got him from behind to try to break up the alley-oop, and well, just what you described is happening.
That's a good foul, though.
Yeah, no.
Tagging a roller
right.
would have been an easy jam, doing what he can to make sure that Orlando at least has to earn points on this possession.
8:08 to go. Yupp is loving the momentum from Star and Bilal on defense. CJ says automatic inside the paint. And the Magic don't have much rim protection. And you might put Bub on Desmond Bane. Out front, Black, bounce pass. Loose, scooping up Coulibaly. Coulibaly, foul line, driving, banking, and scoring with De Silva on his left shoulder. He scores on his right. And the Wizards lead 77-58. Their biggest lead, 19 points.
Bilal Coulibaly came out and in the first 90 seconds of this game looked assertive, and he has carried it through the whole way. 11 points, but also now 3 steals. He has been a pest for Paolo Banchero. Hasn't really let him take over the game at any point in time. For Coulibaly to be matching Banchero on the offensive end, a huge win for the Wizards.
Hey, Casanova in New York is present. Jeff, is it still snowing up there? It's nice and warm here at Capital One Arena as the Wizards lead 77-58 on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Brian Albert, 77-58. Wizards on top of the Magic. Hello Fresh, nutrition that fits your ambition. We're talking Factor, eat like a pro. And at MedStar Health, we're proud the Wizards continue to trust us as their medical team. How we treat the pros is how we treat you. MedStar Health, it is how we treat people. We thank Dr. Kurt Ela for joining us at halftime as it is Mental Health Awareness Month here at Capital One Arena tonight. As Robin brings you the official numbers, official brokerage in Jersey, patch sponsor of the Wizards. Alex Starr has 21 points. You remember when he had his career high.
34 in Denver.
You were doing that game that Jordan Poole won that game on a... It was a game-winning 3, right?
Game-winning 3.
Game-winning 3.
And we'll see Jordan Poole, of course, Friday night with New Orleans coming to town. But, you know, Dave, the reason I called this a goldfish game to some extent was because the Wizards talked so much in postgame after Minnesota on Sunday about how they felt like it was going to be easy to put that behind them. That it didn't reflect who they truly are, that they knew they were the team that had played the 11 games prior. The thing about saying that is you have to back it up. Yep. And the Wizards have 100% backed it up through 28 minutes.
But still a long way to go. Desmond Bane, top of the key, foul line. Teardrop runner is good. And right off the timeout, the Magic answers 77-60 Wizards. 7:39 to go in the third quarter. Again, as Brian refers to goldfish, the shortest memory, according to the great series Ted Lasso. Right elbow, foul line, Trey Johnson scores. he's going to be automatic from there. He was open, and he scored. 79-60. Bain down to the left block, rises, shoots, no. McCollum the rebound. McCollum now right of the center circle, working left to right. McCollum stop, start, chased out of the paint by Wendell Carter. Down low, Middleton is back now to De Silva. Backs in, turns the baseline fade, shoots off the rim. No, Wendell Carter the rebound. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wizards by 19. Now top of the arc, Moncaro goes at Sard. Rise, the basket, bank and score. Now Moncaro will start. 79-62. Koulibaly out front. Denied his pass for Sard. Goes through his legs. Koulibaly ran into Wendell Carter. And he spun around, and it was an awkward. He is putting Wendell Carter in a compromising position.
And it's that change of speed game that Glenn Consor has been raving about with Trey Johnson, comparing it to Earl the Pearl Monroe's change of pace. Trey Johnson's ability to get you to just pick up your body when he comes to a complete stop is what allows him to then instantly accelerate, get the leverage, and draw that foul.
Quiet night overall for Trey Johnson. He now makes the free throw. He's got 5 points. Last 6 games, though, he's been averaging 14.8 points per game.
Quiet on the score sheet, but he was loud in that first quarter creating for his teammates.
Does have 4 assists tonight. Tyus Jones brings up 81-62. Jones, left elbow, right wing to Silva. Champagne got out to him, drives, bounce pass in the restrictor arc. A crowd of restrictor arc. 3 Wizards there. Broken up. Trey Johnson comes up with it. Right wing Champagne, hash mark, shoot. It's there. Oh, he just threw it up and said, of course, I'm going to make this. He did. 84-62. Wizards' biggest lead. Now Moncaro, a quick response as he was driving downhill, and Trey Johnson commits the foul. That's going to be the 4th on Trey Johnson.
Yeah, and it looked like Bain was going to trip himself up into a travel. That's one where just keep the hands back and keep them high, and you're probably fine as the defender. But how about Justin Champagne? Talk about a model of efficiency. 12 points on 4 shot attempts so far tonight.
3 of 3 beyond the arc, 4 of 4 overall, as Desmond Bain is the one to shoot 2, but he misses the first. The Wizards by 22 with 5:42 to go in the third quarter. 84-62.
Talk about how the free throw line can build leads. Wizards only had a 3-point edge at the free throw line coming into this quarter. They've now scored 12 more points than the Magic at the charity stripe, part of their 22-point lead.
Well, 20 of 21 from the free throw line. Second one made by Bain, 84-63. Left of the circle, Carrington. Right by Jones at the point between the circles. Bagley hands off McCollum. McCollum on the dribble. Short cutting Bagley. Awkward pass and went off Bagley's left arm. Bagley was turned around and spinning toward the basket. 84-63. The Wizards on top. Good to have Gina tonight listening. She's always part of the radio party. And a big hello to everybody listening along the Washington Wizards Radio Network. All the way down to Lynchburg, Virginia. Now right elbow, Moncaro knocked loose by Koulibaly. Moncaro gets it back. Cross-court pass intercepted by McCollum. McCollum, right elbow, toe cutting and stuffing. Justin Champagne, low slam, 2 hands, 86-63 Wizards.
And Koulibaly's fingerprints all over that. Got a deflection, which allowed McCollum to jump the pass.
Biggest lead for the Wizards. Noah Penda out front. Just to his right, Moncaro. Koulibaly's on him, of course. Now, Moncaro Shapiro, step back three, rims out. We talked about it. Let him step back. He's not that great a three-point shooter. 86-63. Left the circle, Carrington. Carrington cuts to his right, guarded by Jones. Center circle, McCollum. McCollum back to Champagnie out front for three. Oh, bank! It's there! The bank is open. The bench is celebrating. Oh, I see smoke. Justin Champagnie, 6 of 6, 4 of 4 beyond the arc.
And do you know why that three banked in for him? Because he believes in the basketball gods. Because when you give a little belief, sometimes they'll throw you a bone back. That shot, 2 feet too strong, but the backboard sends it home.
Can I get an amen? 89-63, Wizards' biggest lead. Come on back on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Like Giant Food, because this is home. Capital One Arena, the Wizards and Magic. Right now, the Wizards, they took you felt the Magic were coming with intensity in this third. The Wizards have not only taken a punch, but they've extended their lead to 26 points with 4:31 to go in the third quarter of play. Again, I got to tell you about this. It's a great deal. Select Wizards home games this season. You can get 2 tickets for just $25. Available at WashingtonWizards.com/2 for 21. Robin Hood Numbers, the official brokerage and jersey patch sponsor of the Wizards. Again, Alex Sarr leads the Wizards with 21 points. Now, we should point out the Magic are 47% shooting. The Wizards are 50% shooting. But, again, this is the number. And you know where I'm going with this. 17 Magic turnovers have led to 29 Wizards points.
And how many times have we seen that happen to the Wizards so far this season? This time they're doing it the other way. But you were talking about the veteran leadership of C.J. McCollum and Chris Middleton earlier. We just saw an example of it. During the timeout, C.J. McCollum pulling Marvin Bagley aside. They had that miscommunication on a pick and roll just moments ago, which led to a turnover. C.J. demonstrating this is what my look is, and this is where I want you to stop the roll. Once you get this deep, so I can make that pass. That's just veteran mentorship at its finest.
Taze in for the Magic. Hands off to Penda at the top of the arc, working right to left. Now, left lane Bataze. Back to Penda. Penda now, cross court. It goes to Chet Howard, who's come in, and we have a whistle.
And the reason why I'm harping on that, Dave, is it doesn't sound like much to go over a recent miscommunication. But when you're up 26 with 4:10 to go in the third quarter and you're on a 7-0 run or whatever led into that timeout, it would be easy to just let it go and not try and take advantage of a teaching moment. C.J. McCollum has that veteran presence of mind, realizing that every moment is one worthy of teaching and cherishing and trying to get better within.
Chet Howard makes the free throw. He's fouled by Justin Champagnie. Again, we are shooting the rest of the way as both teams over the limit. 89-64. Well, again, this, as Brian Keefe does it, they don't let a moment of teaching go by. And that's part of this process. And the big theme with this Wizards team is there are no shortcuts. 89-65 the score. Carrington to Bagley, left at top of the key. Goes at Bataze. Down to the left, blocked by Bataze. Bagley tried to get it back. Jet Howard scoops it up. Howard now coming up court. Right wing, Jace Richardson gets into the restrictor arc, flips for the shot. No, Bataze the rebound on the baseline. Back up front to Jones. Now Penda, right elbow, spins, weaves into the restrictor arc. Jump hook, left hand, line drive, scores. All right, this bench shooting is providing a spark to the Magic. 89-65. Carrington denied in the paint, out from Bagley. Ball fake, and he's fouled hard by Bataze as he reached the elbow. That'll put Bagley at the line to shoot two.
And those two have been banging bodies the last 2-3 trips down the floor, so a little bit of extra on that swipe there from Bataze, but nice job, Marvin Bagley, just keeping a cool head, walking around to the free throw line and getting ready to shoot two.
Jason Deering-Listing in Fort Myers just tweeted out the famous Jim Mora playoff rant. We're not thinking about the playoffs, but again, if you're feeling kind of blue and you want to cheer yourself up, Google Jim Mora on YouTube. That's a funny one.
You can't say that name to me right now, Dave.
Why's that?
Jim Mora II just bailed on UConn football for Colorado Colorado State after a successful 4-year run, so we're a little salty in the Albin household about the Mora last name right now.
Well, Jim Mora, I go back to when he was with the Baltimore Stars of USFL, and I was part of that broadcast team.
There we go.
So and he was a great guy, and that playoff run is tremendous. 91-67 Wizards after they made free throws. Jace Richardson, foul line denied by Riley, left wing outside the arc, Penda. Champagne's on him. Penda puts the ball on the floor, head down, gets in the paint, spins, fades left side of the lane, and a foul by Justin Champagne. 91-67 is our score. 3:13 to go in the third quarter.
Everything about the defense was good there until at the last second sort of tried to take a swipe in contesting the shot, maybe trying to get a fingertip on the ball, ended up getting a fingertip on the forearm instead.
Free throw, Penda misses. Well, Jim Mora, the second, I remember him coming to the USFL Championship game in 1985 as a college student at the University of Washington. He was coming to see his dad's Baltimore Stars beat the Oakland Invaders. The Oakland Invaders had Bobby Hebert, had a pretty good NFL career. 91-68. There's a free throw made. Riley, hash mark on the left wing. Cuts to his right. Top of the key. Foul line. Spins. Off 1 foot. Right out wall. Fire. That's Riley. He'll win the points. 93-68. 2:53 to go in the second. Need to finish this quarter strong. Bataza hands off to Jet Howard. Stop start foul line. Closer for Bataza. Slam. Two hands. Emphatic. 93-70 Wizards.
And there was no weak side tag on the roll from Bataze. Wizards have been doing a better job of that tonight, but missed it that time.
Riley goes at Richardson. Foul line. Rises. Shoots. Will Riley scores. Makes it 95-70. Now on court, Penda knocks down Riley. No foul. Missed the layup. Well, now we've got a late call, a blocking call. I say late because it was after he missed the layup. So Penda will shoot two. Riley, he was there first. It looked like he was in position, but he might have leaned into.
He wasn't square for the contact. He was kind of angled, which made it difficult. But with that last bucket from Will Riley, Wizards have already surpassed their point total against the Magic from the first meeting.
Penda just missed a free throw, so maybe the basketball gods, those gods have been part of our broadcast tonight. Missed both, but gets his own rebound. Left corner, Tyus Jones for three, drains it.
See, now I don't know whose side they're on.
No, I was going to say so much for that theory. 95-73, Wizards 2:13 to go. Allison Boz says, don't let them magically get back in the game. Right elbow, Carrington through Bagley. It's broken up. Carrington gets it back. Out front, Riley for three. No off the rim, no. And Jace Richardson the rebound. Center circle. Richardson left wing. Tyus Jones tries a three. Off the back of the arm. Bagley secures the rebound away from Bataze. And Bataze got him in the face. Those two have been tangling. 95-73. That's going to put Bagley at the line.
Bataze, pretty similar to his teammate who we've yet to see this season, Mo Wagner, in terms of they're both just pests when they're out on the court. They're doing everything they can to be in your shirt, get you frustrated, play physically, and that's why, Marvin Bagley's doing a nice job of just staying physical and meeting that challenge right now.
95-73, Bagley at the free throw line, 1:51 left in the third quarter. Well, I told you I passed Bataze in the hallway. I gave him plenty of room. 96-73 as Bagley makes the free throw.
There's something about a full beard man bun combo.
Right. It's a statement, I think. You feel like he might come at you with Ginsu knives or something anyway.
I'm sorry, what were those?
Ginsu knives, yeah. I'm watching too much late night TV when they're advertising those. 97-73, both free throws made by Marvin Bagley.
Somebody's going to have to tweet us a picture of those. I'm not sure I've seen them.
Now they're available for $99.99. Left wing outside the arc, Richardson for three. That's That didn't touch net. Just went through 97-76, and Brian Keefe calls a timeout. Jace Richardson allowed to take an open three and made an open three. But the Wizards still enjoy a comfortable lead. But this is the NBA. It's comfortable for now. More in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. We just step aside for 30 seconds on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Our Ticketmaster upcoming home game presented by Ticketmaster. Back here Friday. New Orleans Pelicans in town, and we'd love to see you here at Ticketmaster.com/Wizards. As always, you can stop by Section 216 and say hello. And again, it's coming up January 30th at Fuddruckers. It's our next Michelob Ultra live post-game show. We had a great time when we did this back in December. Fuddruckers is just minutes away on 7th Street. Again, that's after the Lakers game on January 30th. A minute 37 to go in the third quarter. Carrington working left to right in the center circle, guarded by Tyus Jones. Carrington cuts to his right off a Bagley screen. Floats it up Bagley. Bank, no. As it was too high. Now in transition up to Richardson. Broken up by Riley Richardson. Gets it back and what? Well, it floated up for Bagley. It was too high for him to bring it down. And the Magic now make it 97-78. So they're finishing this third quarter on the front foot.
Well, on the other end, it looked like the Wizards had a surefire turnover. They got deflections on that outlet pass, 2 separate occasions, but they couldn't secure the basketball. And next thing you know, after missing a chance to secure it, Will Riley sort of just stumbling off balance into Richardson. It's look what I found for Jace Richardson. And you don't want to let this lead get under 15 headed to the
No, 97-79. By the way, Justin Champetti, the foul, the inbound pass intercepted by Penda. A three-pointer by Tyus Jones, no good. Now battle for the rebound underneath. Jet Howard grabbed it. And we've got a whistle and a foul. And I think Jet Howard is going to be shooting too as Bagley commits the foul. So suddenly these hustle plays are going the Magic's way.
And I think that Brian Keefe had called that last time out specifically because he didn't like how things were starting to go in terms of the energy the Wizards were playing with, starting to let cross-court passes get through too easily to open corner threes. I can't imagine he's too pleased with how the next 50 seconds out of the timeout have transpired.
Jet Howard makes the free throw, 97-80. So it's gone from a 26-point advantage for the Wizards down to 17. As you said, you don't want to see it get below 15 going to the fourth, and it's precariously close right now. Second free throw missed. He gets it, spins in the restrict arc, blocked by Bagley. Needed that. The block ball comes up. Malachi Branham. Branham to Bagley, top of the arc, goes at Isaac. Right elbow flips to the shot. No, but he drew the foul on Jonathan Isaac. Bagley in the denial. The Wizards, they needed that block.
That was a huge block because that was the second time in the past couple minutes that the Magic got a rebound off their own missed free throw. And it was a missed free throw that led to a Tyus Jones 3 in the corner that started this whole run for Orlando. So had they given up another 2 points off a missed free throw, that could have really swung the momentum even further Orlando's way.
Bagley makes the free throw, 98-80. So Bagley now on the night with 9 points. And that one block that he just had, so critical. That would have made it a 15-point game. And Howard put back the shot instead. Bagley the block. Makes both free throws. All right, 99-80. A minute 5 left, third quarter. Working right to left, Tyus Jones. Cuts through the center circle to the left. Now up front, Howard. Right elbow driving. Shovels Isaac. Restricted arc. Clips to the shot. No. But the foul by Isaac is good. Bagley did a great job on the initial. 99-82. 17-point Wizard lead. Pass to McCollum. Left elbow. Rises. Shoots it short. Isaac grabs the rebound. 40 seconds left. Right to left, Jace Richardson. Goes at Riley. Foul line to the basket. Scores. All right, here come the Magic. Now Carrington with the ball. 99-84. 15-point game with 29 seconds left. There is a 12-second difference in shot clock and game clock. Shot clock at 12. Carrington right at the top. He rises, shoots, scores. Needed that 101-84. 19 seconds left. Shot clock off. But the Magic can bring it to 15. Jones center circle, or maybe 14. Jones, Capital One Arena logo, right side out front. Isaac, ball fake, 6 seconds. Hendo, left wing, couple pump fakes. He's going to take a three. Got it. That hurt. 101-87. And the third quarter comes to an end, and the Magic have brought it under 15 to 14. We got a fourth quarter coming. It's a little too close for comfort. The Wizards have led since the first quarter by as many as 26. Right now it's 14. You want to come back to the fourth quarter here at Capital One Arena on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Brian Alvin and Chase Hughes from Monumental Sports Network. And Chase talking Trey Johnson.
Yeah, guys, I recently caught up with an NBA scout from a team that evaluated Trey Johnson before the draft. And he told me part of the intel they got on him in college was that he could be very demanding of his teammates in terms of their effort in practice. Trey's reputation is that he works extremely hard, and apparently he holds teammates to the same standard. The scout said they put in their notes that he's got a Mamba mentality, which I think is, one, very cool as a Kobe fan, and two, a great sign of his competitiveness. Now, since he's a rookie, he may not be taking that approach quite yet, but it's something for fans to keep in mind moving forward.
Well, that's NBA DNA out there. As Jet Howard has some DNA. His dad, Juwan Howard, he makes the three, 101-90. Good stuff from Chase Hughes on Trey Johnson. Carrington heads to the circle, left elbow driving, floats it up back, and slam! Two hands! Exclamation mark, 103-90.
And every time they're on the court together, Bub is looking for the lob to Bagley in the pick and roll.
Tyus Jones out right of the circle. Whips a pass in the right corner, Jace Richardson. Foul line. Denied by Trey Johnson. Left wing outside the arc. Penda for three. Rims out. Bagley collects the rebound. This second unit for the Magic has willed this team back from being down 26. Out front, Johnson left the center circle for three. No. He can make that shot. Didn't that time. And rebound comes to Tyus Jones. Wizards by 13. Jace Richardson on the right wing. Back out front to Tyus Jones. Penda. Pass mark left wing down low. Isaac. It's knocked loose by Johnson. He came from behind as Isaac was deep in the paint. Johnson, right elbow, down to the baseline. Then Penda steals it. Penda was fouled in the backcourt by McCollum. Although that actually did not work to the Magic's advantage. It stopped a 2-on-1 fast break.
It will be a transition take foul, though, so it will send the Magic to the line for one, and Orlando will keep possession.
So Jet Howard goes to the line. Again, Howard coming into the second half and then suddenly providing a spark for the Magic off the bench. In 6 minutes, he's got 7 points. 103-91. Possession, Magic. 10:45 to go.
This was a 25-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter. And it just felt like the Wizards took the foot off the gas just a little bit to end that quarter. And look how quickly you can let a team back in.
Howard right block. No. Isaac follow. Yes. 103-93. 10-point game. Carrington. Center circle, Trey Johnson. Johnson off the Bagley screen. And then Bagley an offensive foul. 103-93. The Magic can bring it under 10. And, interesting enough, Brian, it was not Bonteros and the starting lineup for the Magic. It's a unit that's on the floor now that made the difference.
And it started with a crack in fundamentals. It literally all starts with no box out of the shooter on a missed free throw, which leads to an open corner three. And from that moment on, Orlando has really started to take control of this game.
Again, it was a 26-point Wizard lead. Out front, Howard, top of the arc. Started by Carrington, 7 on the clock. Cuts to his left. Bagley comes out past to Isaac in the restricted arc. Flips up his shot and one. C.J. McCollum, the foul. 103-95. The Magic comeback continues. That was a great play because Bagley came out to help on the perimeter and that allowed Jonathan Isaac to get in the restricted arc and score.
And the thing about the game of basketball is once you lose those fundamentals and that urgency for just a moment, it becomes so hard to get back into that flow and into that rhythm that you were in. Meanwhile, on the other end, Orlando saw a couple shots go down. All of a sudden, there's some confidence within that unit that's out on the floor, and it just turns into this cascading effect effect.
All right, let's see if Chris Middleton's return can help steady things with McCollum out there. Koulibaly, Alex Stars come back, and then Bub Carrington. 103-95, Wizards with 10:04 to go.
If Isaac makes this free throw, the Magic will have shaved off 18 points of a deficit in 4.5 minutes.
Makes you wince. And Isaac does make the free throws. Free throw, singular. 103-96. All right, the Wizards, not only have taken a punch, suddenly they feel like they're on the ropes. Or it feels that way. Top of the arc, Alex Starr, guarded by Isaac. Bounce pass, Koulibaly. Bounce pass, backdoor cutting Starr. Throws up a jump hook. Middleton tips it to keep it alive. Isaac gets a rebound. The Magic comeback can continue. 103-96 Wizards. Jace Richardson, hash mark at the left wing. Goes to McCollum, gets under the basket. Right corner Jones, out front Howard. Left wing Penda, ball fake, foul line, gets in the paint. Bounce pass Isaac is broken up, and Middleton comes up with it. I think Carrington may have knocked it away from Isaac. All right, Middleton, right of the circle. Wizards need to do it on this end. Bounce pass, Sarr, it's low, broken up by Penda. Jones, right of the circle. Right wing, now Jace Richardson missed the three. Sarr goes after the rebound, and it goes out of play. All right, the Wizards are living dangerously. With 9:14 left, the Wizards right now only lead by 7 points.
But that previous stop where they forced the turnover 2 possessions ago shows the importance of that extra effort, that extra urgency to chase around the perimeter in rotation. They forced the Magic into 2 extra passes. Sometimes just forcing 2 extra passes is giving the other team more time to eventually turn it over.
103-96 Wizards. Left the circle, Carrington. On the left wing, Middleton working left to right, guarded by Jet Howard. Comes up a Star screen, top of the key, crossover, step back, top of the key, in and out. Bataze's back in, gets a rebound. 8:57 to go. Fourth quarter, Jace Richardson, Capital One Arena logo, pestered by Koulibaly. Koulibaly, too much pestering, a foul. Koulibaly trying to force a steal. That's only the second on Koulibaly, and impressive because he spent most of the night on Banchero.
He's been physical and he's been using his hands, but he's been doing it within the guidelines for the most part.
Right of the circle, Bataze off the inbound, working right to left. Jace Richardson, top of the key, foul on. Slapped away by Carrington, goes off Richardson. Well done, Bub Carrington. As Adams put out the hashtag finish strong, well, that's one way to do it on the defensive end. 103-96, it remains Wizards. Carrington, that's mark right wing, back up on Middleton, edge of the circle. Middleton cuts to his left, Jet Howard on him. Koulibaly, hash mark left wing, Sarr, top of the arc, 8 on the clock. Sarr, one dribble back to Koulibaly, bounce past Middleton. His back, he draws double team, throws out front Sarr, broken up, loose ball on the floor. Carrington will not get a 3 off. It's a 24-second violation. A big stop by the Magic. Their bench is up into this game as, again, they looked on their way out, and now they're very much back in.
And with the Wizards sort of sputtering a little bit right now, that's where I'd like to see the ball get into the hands of C.J. McCollum. Let him try and settle things down, run a possession. Doesn't feel like he's getting touches right now.
Right wing outside the arc, Penda drives, going to the basket, going for the slam. And he's got it with 2 hands, and now within 5 on the Magic. 103-98. Almost broke out in the backcourt by Penda, but McCollum, right elbow, driving to the basket, bank, and score. Determined. C.J. McCollum gives the Wizards a little breathing room. 105-98 our score. McCollum now is 17.
He's the man that's been there, done that, seen it all. He can calm the heavy seas.
Jet Howard gives to Tyus Jones, right wing. Working right to left, the Magic. Howard, right elbow to Bataze, foul line, bounce pass on the basket. Richardson chased out of the paint. On the right wing, it's Penda. Guarded by Middleton, 3 on the clock. Penda spins, shoots from the corner, inside the arc, and scores at the shot clock buzzer. Noah Penda's making a difference off the bench, and the Magic within 5, 105-100.
Great defense for 23 seconds, and Penda just making a tough shot.
Sarr goes up at Bataze, and Bataze is a foul. And the ball was knocked loose because Bataze, he'll jar your teeth a little bit. That's going to be the second team foul on the Magic. Side out for the Wizards.
And so we talk about all that's been done wrong or gone wrong these last 7 minutes for the Wizards. What it sets up now in the last 7 minutes of the game, a great test for this young team to find a little bit out about themselves. Can we get back up off the mat after we let a big lead disappear?
McCollum, hash mark on the right wing, inbounds the ball. Middleton goes at Howard. A couple pump fakes under the basket, throws out front Carrington. Carrington, top of the key, gets in the paint. Right corner, Alex Sarr for three off the rim. Rebound kept alive by Middleton. Put back, no, but then a foul. Now credit the Wizards. Persistence on that play. Jett Howard the foul. And this is going to put Middleton at the line to shoot two. On a night when free throws have been part of the story, Brian, having the Magic 16 of 24, but the Wizards 26 of 27.
And it's funny how they always find a way towards factoring into the outcome, right? Those missed free throws from Orlando didn't feel like such a big deal when they were down by 20 points because of all their turnovers. You look now in a 6-point game, the Magic regret leaving points on the table earlier in the night.
Middleton makes both, 107-100. Again, the Wizards side have 29 points of 19 Magic turnovers. So they won the turnover category and free throws right now. Howard to Batazzi foul line. Behind him, Jones. Tyus Jones drives in the lane. Well, blocked by Alex Sarr. Sarr the denial. He went high for that. Koulibaly splits the defenders up toward the Carrington. Hash mark left wing, Middleton. Right elbow. Goes at Jones. Left wing outside the arc. Alex Sarr for three. Rims out. And the rebound, Noah Penda. 6:30 to go in the fourth. Jace Richardson. Off of Batazzi screen. Foul line. Driving. Bank. No. Battle for the rebound. The Wizards get it. Sarr altered that shot by Richardson. Middleton to the basket. That's blocked by Penda. Penda in the swat. Now Jones up court. Richardson open for three on the left wing. Drains it. And it's a 4-point game with 6:06 left. 107-103. Wizards.
Richardson had never gotten back after having gone down into the camera well on the previous trip down. What recognition by Jones to get it ahead.
McCollum for three. It's off the rim. Jett Howard the rebound. 4-point game. It's all in the Magic direction right now. Howard goes at Sarr. A couple pump fakes. Sarr the block. And then we have a whistle, a jump ball. They're going to say a jump ball. That Sarr forced a jump ball against Jett Howard. 5:43 to go in the fourth. Nobody moved. A timeout. If you're driving, pull over. If you're in the driveway, stay there. Didn't expect this, but this is NBA basketball. The Wizards finding out coolly it's NBA basketball. Once a 26-point lead, they lead by 4. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. We have 5:43 left in the fourth quarter, and the Wizards by 4 points. Hey, Steve Fitters, who's up? Brought to you by Steve Fitters, UA Local 602, providing the best mechanical services and process and piping systems. Again, right now, you have to look at Alex Sarr, 21 points on 6 of 11. But, hey, how about Justin Champagnie? He's playing through 5 fouls, 17 points tonight, 6 of 6, 4 of 4 beyond the arc. The Wizards with 21 assists tonight. Again, the Wizards 21 assists tonight. We thank Chinego Mayos for getting involved in our assist program to help veterans. The 21 assists tonight, if you times it by 25, you get $525. And let me explain what Chinego Mayos, their veteran assist program. Every assist the Wizards make, Chinego Mayos will donate $25 to the Vigilant Torch Foundation that helps support our nation's veterans. So again, right now we're adding $525 so far from tonight. Ryan Alvin, 5:43 to go. Your checklist.
You mentioned Justin Champagnie playing through the 5 fouls. Those 5 fouls are why he hasn't been on the floor the entirety of this Orlando run. He's back on the floor now. Let's see if he makes a difference.
They could use him to get a couple of rebounds and just beat Justin Champagnie. Foul line at the Magic offensive end. Jett Howard to jump against Sarr. Howard actually won it. Goes back to Noah Penda, left the circle. 14 on the clock. The Magic within 4. The last lead was in the first quarter. quarter. And it's last time I could have been this close. Jones left corner to Howard. Howard left elbow. He's running the lane off the back of the eye. No, Champagnie have the rebound. Knocks it to Koulibaly. Center circle. Koulibaly left wing outside the arc. Carrington for three. That's going to be short. You can tell when he released it. 107-103. The Wizards still leading. Jones hands off to Howard. Hash mark on the left wing, guarded by Sarr. Howard looking to break down Sarr to Batadze. Restrictor arc stuff. With Champagnie on him, Justin couldn't do anything with 5 fouls. 107-105. It's a 2-point game. 4:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wizards barely hanging on to this lead. Champagnie McCollum floats at Sarr. Oh, 2 points. 105 Wizards. Center circle now. Tyus Jones feeds Howard. Right elbow. Bounce pass Batadze. Met by Sarr at the block. Back up on Jones. Howard guarded by Justin Champagnie. 8 on the clock. Howard driving. Blocked by Howard Sarr. Batadze gets it. Blocked again by Howard Sarr. And a jump ball. As Batadze ends up on the floor as Alex Sarr showing his elite rim protection.
The double jump of Alex Sarr gets the 2 blocks, and important to remember only 2.4 seconds on the shot clock if the Magic win the tip. So obviously Wizards just want to win the tip, get the possession, but if Orlando does win the tip, they have to get a shot up quickly.
Foul line, Magic offensive end. Alex Sarr to jump against Batadze. Wizards leading by 4. Ball in the air, Sarr wins it, goes back to Champagnie. Fine margins, my friends. Every possession so important. Carrington, center circle. Now feeds McCollum. Left elbow, gets in the paint. His runner is good. CJ Money. 111-105, Wizards by 6. Now, up for Jace Richardson. Tyus Jones, hash mark on the left wing. Jones, bounce pass for Batadze. Weaves in the paint. Weaves, top of the restrictor arc. Jump hook over Sarr. No. Sarr defended without fouling. Well, Batadze got deep, but Sarr met him. Left the circle, Carrington. Now from McCollum, left elbow. Right wing outside the arc. Champagnie for 3, air ball. Caught by McCollum. Back to Champagnie. Champagnie now drives, spins, throws to McCollum in the right corner for 3. It's there! It's there! 114-105 Wizards. They can breathe again, at least for now. Champagnie couldn't make it, but CJ did.
And how fitting is that? It was McCollum, Johnny on the spot to grab Champagnie's rebound. So what does Champagnie do? He pays the favor back, finds McCollum open in the corner. McCollum knocks it down.
All right, we're not done. 114-105. Wizards on top of the Magic. 3:35 to go in the fourth quarter. More in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson, Brian Alvin back with you at DJ Sports at Brian Alvin Live. If you want to connect with us, 114-105 Wizards. You know, the Magic, this comeback after being down by 26, it started with their bench. Their bench has provided 55 points, and Jamal Mosley, head coach, has been riding this bench unit.
Yeah, at that last time out with the Wizards up 4 and 5.5 minutes left, I was curious. Were we going to see Jamal Mosley bring back Paolo Banchero and Desmond Bane and Wendell Carter and try and let his starters go for the win? And he went the opposite way, in fact. Not only did he stick with his bench, he brings in Jamal Cain, who had not played a minute all night, and inserts him in a big spot, 4-point game. I'm not saying Jamal Cain had anything to do with the Wizards pushing the lead from 4 back up to 9, but you talk about putting that trust in your group that earned being on the floor. What it trickles down to is, well, you need to give those bench guys blows too now, and in the process of giving them a blow, they put on somebody who hasn't been in all night, and the Wizards have taken advantage in the last couple minutes.
All right, Wizards now have to get back on defense. Tyus Jones, again, part of the bench for the Magic. Working right to left. 3:30 to go. Wizards up by 9. Carrington guarding Jones. Cuts to his right. Finds right corner. Penda for 3. Air ball caught by Isaac under the basket. Out front, Jet Howard for 3. Off the back of the eye. No. Grabbing the rebound. Carrington in traffic. Carrington now splits the defenders. Left elbow. Floats up a shot. No. Champagnie battles for the rebound, but we have a whistle. It's going to be against the Magic.
Great job pushing the tempo there by Bub Carrington. Didn't finish the shot, but did enough to create that offensive rebounding opportunity for Justin Champagnie. And anytime you give Justin Champagnie a rebounding opportunity, he's probably going to be there to secure it.
Penda gets the foul. After Champagnie battle for the rebound. 114-105. Loose ball foul. Hey, Jonathan Steele listening tonight while walking Jackson. Of course, Jackson is his dog. Right sideline, McCullum. Into Carrington. Back to McCullum, right of the circle. Now left to top gate. Goes at Penda. Spins left elbow. Jab step denied. Bounce pass Sarr in the paint. Is back to Isaac. Fades. Right side lane. Bank. No. Spins out. Comes to Coulibaly on the baseline right. 2:57 to go. Wizards win 14-105. Carrington. Lob for Sarr. Catches in the trick guard. Broken up by Isaac. Isaac comes up with a steal. Up court now Jones. Center circle. Jet Howard on the left wing. Looking to break down Champagnie, who has 5 fouls. Gets in the trick guard to the basket. No. Coulibaly then wrestles a rebound away from Jonathan Isaac. Oh, below. What a big board. Working left to right. McCullum. 2:31 to go. 114-105. McCullum gets it poked away by Penda. Goes in the backcourt. 10-second shot clock. Now McCullum comes off a Sarr screen. Gets downhill. Stripped to the ball. Isaac gets it ahead to Penda. Penda center circle. Left wing Jones open for 3 off the rim. No foul. Slam. Chase Richardson flying in untouched. 114-107. It's a 7-point game with 2:08 to go.
20 points on the night for Richardson. His best performance as a rookie so far.
Center circle now. Bub Carrington. 12-second shot clock. McCullum left wing turns a 3. Oh, it's there. 3J McCullum. As cool as you please. He spins around and makes it 117-107. Now Jet Howard. Hash mark on the right wing. Left of the circle. Tyus Jones. 15-second shot clock. Off an Isaac screen. Throws right corner. Penda to reach for a touch out to Howard. Down the baseline. Isaac turnaround jumper. No. And Coulibaly secures the rebound. He's getting some big boards down the stretch.
So quick off the floor to meet it at its apex.
Left the circle. Carrington. 1:26 left. Wizards by 10. They once led by 26, but that's a distant memory. Carrington still on the dribble center circle. 6 on the clock. Carrington out front for 3. It spins out. And battle for the rebound. We're going to have a loose ball foul on Bilal Coulibaly. That's going to be the 4th team foul, or first and last 2 minutes, however you want to look at it.
Very fortunate that that's not a penalty foul, because that would be a very bad giveaway to potentially send Orlando to the line just reaching for a rebound 90 feet from the bucket.
Richardson heads to the circle after the inbound. Tyus Jones, a deep 3. No, and the rebound Coulibaly. 1:04 left. 117-107 Wizards. McCullum crosses the timeline. Penda's on him. He's a physical player. Bumps him again. Left the circle. McCullum is still on the dribble. Sarr, hash mark right wing back to McCullum. 7 on the clock. McCullum guarded by Richardson now. McCullum now to Sarr. Right wing outside the arc for 3 off the back of the iron. No, long rebound. Coulibaly collects. Oh, he's been Mr. Rebound. Now Coulibaly is fouled out front by Jet Howard because 36 seconds left. Now below Coulibaly tonight, 8 rebounds. It felt like all 8 in the last 2 minutes.
And this is a nice round of applause right now from the Capital One Arena fans, because look, this was not a masterpiece down the stretch from the Wizards after it was a masterpiece for 34 minutes as Coulibaly makes the first free throw. But guess what? You're going to have nights like this, and part of becoming a winning team one day, learning how to pick yourself up, back off the mat when an easy win turns into one you have to fight for.
Coulibaly makes 1 of 2. Now up court, 118-107. Goes to Howard. Step back 3. Oh, got it. Jet Howard's not going anywhere. 28 seconds left. Inbound to Champagnie. 118-110. McCullum crosses the timeline. Right wing Coulibaly, and Jet Howard fouls him. Wizards by 8 with 22 seconds left. Well, look, you're right, Brian. It's NBA basketball. A 20-point or even a 26-point lead can turn to nothing, can evaporate. And it did tonight. But again, the Wizards They were down 17-14 and took over from there and never let the Magic reclaim the lead.
Yeah, and once a 26-point lead gets down to 4 with 6 minutes to go, the easiest thing to do is let go of the rope and lose the game from there. It takes more to pick yourself up off the mat.
Coulibaly makes the ball. Jet Howard drives a basket, slapped away by Carrington. 18 seconds left, 120-110. Now the Wizards done enough. They are so close to getting their 10th win of the season. Baseline right with 18 seconds left. The Magic. Tyus Jones in the corner. Richardson. He drives, hangs in the air, shovels to Isaac, flips of the shot and scores. 120-112. Now McCollum across the timeline. I don't think the Magic are going to foul, and the Wizards are going to win. They backed it up. They said they were better than Sunday against Minnesota, and they backed it up. Let's get on the bus. Let's get out of here. Let's go to Philadelphia. 120-112. Wizards win over the Orlando Magic tonight. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Going to be visited by one of the participants, one of the stars of the game for the Wizards, and much more. But look, when you think now, it's 7 wins, I think, in 13 games. Yep. If I'm doing my
7 and 6 in the last 13.
Well, when you look at 3 wins by 19 or more points, 4 wins by single digits. It's showing the Wizards can do both. And tonight, I think a real growth part for this Wizards team is you can tell the mental confidence that, they took more than a punch. They took like 6 haymakers, and this game could have been a very sour ending.
And they did a great job when things got tight, making sure the ball got into the hands of C.J. McCollum. And C.J. McCollum made some timely baskets in timely moments to just ease the setting a little bit. And he was huge coming down the stretch as he finished with 27 points to lead the way.
I think we're about to be joined by Bilal Coulibaly as the Wizards win tonight over the Orlando Magic. Hey, Bilal, we appreciate you joining us tonight, as always.
Yes, sir.
As you finished with, I think, 8 rebounds, as I said, it felt like you got all 8 in the last 2 minutes.
All of them.
Yeah, but let's talk about that. This, to us, is a real growth from this team, because a 26-point lead was nice, but you didn't let them back in the end.
Mm-hmm. Nah, we did a great job. They came back a little bit, but we came right back in. The guys locked in, and we did the job.
Hey, Bilal, coming into the first few minutes of tonight, it really felt like you were being super assertive, trying to get downhill. You get the steal on a dribble handoff on Banchero, first play of the game. Just felt like you had an extra assertive mindset from the start. What goes into that for you?
I think, to be honest, last game I didn't do a great job on them, him and Wagner, and I just came in with that race to do better. So I think I did a great job from the jump.
Well, you did, and also, by the way, 5 steals tonight for you. And also, just these assignments you're getting. A lot of the night, Paolo Banchero, it exhausted me watching you try to, because he's bigger and more physical than you are.
More physical, I don't know about that, but he's definitely bigger. Yeah. So it was definitely a hard matchup, man. He's playing good, and I did a good job today being physical with him. I think that's what got us to win the game.
And important after Sunday to show, hey, this is what the Wizards are all about.
Definitely, we had to show everybody that's what we're about.
All right, Bilal, we'll see you on the bus. We're going to Philadelphia.
Yes, sir. See you tomorrow.
All right, Bilal Coulibaly joining us. 120-112 Wizards. The final will come back and get you set for the Michelob Ultra postgame show in just a moment, as we'll hear from Chase Hughes and much more on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with the Glenn Consor and Monumental Sports Network's Chase Hughes. And so many storylines on this young Wizards team. And really in the month of December, Trey Johnson has emerged as one of the leading storylines.
Yeah, Dave, tonight the Wizards are battling a massive disparity in free throw attempts. But on that note, we just interviewed Trey Johnson on Off the Bench. And I asked him about his free throw routine, because if you pay attention to him at the line, he basically just gets the ball and shoots it. He doesn't dribble it once. And it turns out that's all by design. sideline to make sure he doesn't overthink the shot. He said he used to have a more elaborate routine when he was in high school, but around his junior year, he decided to scrap that and just shoot it.
That's good stuff. You know, the interesting thing about that, Chase, is, first of all, you do what it takes to make you a better shooter, but that's not what you're taught when you're a little kid. You're taught routine. Take 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, 1 dribble every time. Keep doing the same routine.
Holmes Island for the Timberwolves out front, working left to right. DiVincenzo left wing, kick ball by Vucevic. And it'll be Timberwolves ball on the left sideline. What did you do at the free throw line? 2 dribbles?
2 dribbles, and I would spin it backwards to me to catch it.
This is Dave Johnson, voice of the Washington Wizards, and we are so glad you're locked in right here on Wizards Radio 24/7.
I love the game, fast-paced game.
What is the latest with the Wizards? What happened this morning at shoot-around? Is this player going to start, not going to start?
I love the superstars.
What is the matchup like, the key matchup for the game? That's what you're going to find, the very latest.
Ball movement, shots, dunks. What's not to love about it?
The scouting report. You will have some of the notes that we can share with you.
I love the game, man. Love the game.
24/7. You get the latest on the Washington Wizards, and I do mean the latest.
Wizards Radio 24/7 is the best app you can get. Wizards Radio 24/7.
Back at halftime, 75-56, the Magic on top of the Wizards. A very special night here at Capital One Arena. It is Box Out Cancer. It is presented by our great friends at MedStar. And Dr. Stephen Liu is the chief of hematology and oncology, MedStar Health. And when we talk about lung cancer, we often think, well, it's a smoker's disease.
It's not the case anymore, Dave. I think that's a misconception that this is a disease of smokers. And even when it was, it's still something that's worth our attention and compassion. But more and more, we're seeing this in people that have no history of smoking. And so I think right off the bat, when we look at new lung cancer diagnoses in the U.S., 1 in 5 will have never touched a cigarette. The face of lung cancer is changing. It's younger, professionals, people that have done nothing wrong, that are being exposed to something we don't totally understand. But lung cancer is not just about smoking. It's much more complex than that.
Indeed, a mystery. So what do you understand?
I think increasingly we think it's the world around us. And it used to be in the 1980s, 1990s, if you ate right and exercised, if you didn't smoke and had an apple a day, you were going to be okay. But that's not the world we live in anymore. And there are invisible threats around us. Some early studies suggest that pollution, air quality, things like radon are going to have some impact on the development of lung cancer. But the reality is it's something much more insidious than that, something that affects all of us all over the world. Lung cancer is on the rise, particularly non-smoking related lung cancer in every corner of the globe. And so it's going to be something in the water, something in the food, something that is difficult for us to understand. What we do understand is this: anyone with lungs can get lung cancer, and that includes you and I and everyone we know.
And I know you stress it's so important to know your body. And given that, the signs are symptoms of lung cancer.
So our lungs are beautiful organs, really well developed. They compensate for quite a bit. And so sometimes the symptoms are subtle. And so cough, shortness of breath, changes in voice, things that last a little longer than they should. Those are reasons to maybe seek attention. And if you're someone that has a chronic cough, if that cough changes, it's not quite the same, that matters. Listen to your body. Don't ignore these signs. Other common symptoms of lung cancer: weight loss, fatigue, decreased energy. But unfortunately, even in this great country of ours, where our numbers are the best, the most common stage of diagnosis for lung cancer is stage 4, where the cancer is already spread. And so a lot of times the symptoms are related to where the cancer is spread. So pain in the bones, headache, nausea, and changes in vision, these types of things, sometimes even blood test or lab abnormalities. But if something's not quite right, you got to seek a medical attention. If your doctor's not really listening to you, maybe find another doctor.
And lung cancer, as you are stressing, is now so treatable.
One of the important things and a message that I think is lost a lot is we can do something about this cancer, that this is a cancer that we can treat. And for many years, there was this nihilism that the treatment was worse than the disease, that our medicines didn't work. And I will admit that decades ago, the treatments we had were not very good. They caused a lot of side effects, but it's quite different now. We have newer drugs, targeted agents that for some cancers will have their effect within days, that will work for almost everyone if we match them up properly. With newer treatments like immunotherapy, we have medicines that, for some people will never stop working, even for late-stage diseases. So while this remains a very serious cancer, in fact, the most lethal cancer in the U.S. for both men and for women, we're making serious advances. And for a lot of people, turning this into a chronic condition that you can live with.
And what qualifies as high risk?
Yeah, I think right now our basic understanding of lung cancer, because for a lot of lung cancer, we don't understand what the risks are. But we do know that for smoking-related cancers, which is not all lung cancer, but for smoking-related lung cancer, the highest risk are people age 50 to 80 who have smoked at some point in the past 15 years and have smoked a total of 20 pack years. What that means is a pack a day for 20 years or 2 packs a day for 10 years or half a pack a day for 40 years. But if you fall in that category, 50 to 80 years old, smoked within the past 15 years, a 20-pack year history, that's a high risk for lung cancer. A low-dose CT scan of the chest with no contrast, a quick CT scan of the chest, we call that a screening CT scan, can help reduce the risk of lung cancer mortality by 20%. This very quick scan, which is recommended by our current guidelines, can find these cancers earlier, before they cause symptoms, before they cause a problem. And if we find these cancers early, we have a higher chance of curing them.
Let's keep you healthy. MedStarHealth.org/prevent cancer to learn more. And more in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
But I'm a DC native, so I love all DC sports.
Oh, DC family, DC Rising, all of that.
Redskins, Caps, Wizards, Nationals.
The Wizards have given the nation's capital a reason to smile again.
Go Wizards!
We're here on Wizards Radio 24/7.
Well, there are nights like this in the NBA, and tonight the Wizards had one of those nights. A 141-115 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So you bring in Chase Hughes from Monumental Sports Network.
Well, bit of a reality check for the Wizards. I think it was a tough game in particular because of the turnovers and also a big disadvantage in free throw attempts. They were fighting an uphill battle, and then you combine that with a hot start by Anthony Edwards, and this game was out of hand pretty quickly. But really, it was Rudy Gobert who completely controlled the game. I mean, it was vintage Rudy Gobert. He dominated the paint. He was a monster on the glass. And it reminds me of a story I tell kind of often. Early in his career when he was with the Jazz, Rudy Gobert came into the Wizards media room. He ate an entire rack of ribs.
I was there.
And then went out. I
saw it.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then went out and grabbed 19 rebounds against the Wizards. So he's just that kind of player. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap.
Yeah, you know what, Chase, also, you always hear, and I'm going to throw a little coach speak at you right now, Chase.
Okay.
You always hear NBA coaches talking about, make sure we touch the paint. Make sure somebody touches the paint. Minnesota did a great job getting into the paint and either dropping off dimes or kicking out for threes the whole game. And to me, it was the inability to stop the dribble penetration to keep guys out of that paint area, which was collapsing the defense and their ability to find open players. Because, look, think about it, Chase. Minnesota this game had 28 assists, okay, and 14 turnovers. And most of those turnovers came late.
Anthony Edwards, obviously a big driving force of getting into the paint. But going back to Gobert, he made the Wizards pay offensively in a way he doesn't always do. And
right.
I think that opened up some things, especially on a night where DiVincenzo wasn't making his threes.
And how about that? I didn't know he had that around-the-back pass in his bag.
Yeah, I did not.
No.
Unfortunately, it did not lead, as you mentioned, DiVincenzo went to DiVincenzo, who did not make his open three. All right, Chase Hughes. Tuesday night, we got the Magic. We'll keep looking for your stuff on Monumental Sports Network and at Chase DC Sports. Thank you so much, Chase.
Thanks, Dave.
This is Johnny from Alexandria. Go Wizards. Playoffs here we come. This is Wizards Radio 24/7.
Sunday night in Capital One Arena, the Wizards were brought back down to earth a little bit. They'd won 4 out of their last 5 prior to a 141-115 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And on the Michelob Ultra post-game show, Glenn Consor and Chris Wright discussed how the Timberwolves looked like a team that could do some damage in the Western Conference playoffs.
This was a game where the Wizards lost 141-115. Wizards were playing so good up until this point. I thought they were flat defensively.
Yes.
And, quite frankly, Minnesota coming off a back-to-back had a lot of energy. And I thought the physicality that they brought to the defensive end was the difference maker.
Yeah, they really are owning in on every game and making that important. I heard Anthony Edwards in the beginning of the season. He said teams that he feels that are not in their league, he's going to really attack. He's going to try to make career nights. And that just goes to show you the level of concentration and detail that this team is in and that Anthony Edwards is at in his stage of his career. So, you saw them come out, be aggressive, you saw them be physical, and you saw them attack at every point. And
that's right. And here's what I said to Chase Hughes at the end of this game. And a little coach speak. You always hear about coaches in the NBA talk about paint touches. Let's get paint touches. Well, what that means is with your dribble or from a pass, get the ball into the paint and either drop a dime off in the paint to someone else or kick it out for threes. And I thought that was the difference maker tonight because Minnesota had 76 paint points compared to the Wizards' 48. And they would kick it out to three-point shooters. And it's like the Wizards would collapse, and they would find an open man, whether it was a mid-range, a dime under the basket, or a spray out. And it was that inability tonight to stop that dribble penetration.
Yeah, they have a lot of different ways that they can attack you. One, Julius Randle is a big, strong, physical wing, power forward, whatever position you want to play. He's an impressive athlete and specimen, and he's super talented. Then you have a superstar in Anthony Edwards, and the underlying big factor, X factor of this team is Rudy Gobert. The screens, the shot blocking, the rebounds, just the presence he has on the court makes this team such an elite team. And I think that's very undervalued.
Absolutely. And think about how many times they got into the paint and just dropped almost like a handle. It was almost like a DHO to Rudy underneath the basket for a slam dunk.
And it's almost like you guaranteed that it's going to be one shot, and he's going to clean up the defensive boards. So,
and he also had 4 blocks.
And he had 4 blocks. And he's still getting blocks. It's crazy. One thing that's interesting I think Sarr may go through at some point is that once you start establishing yourself, Wemby will go through this as an elite shot blocker. They go 4 blocks a game and all that stuff. Then people don't shoot anymore, so their blocks go down to 1.5 or 2 blocks. But Gobert is still getting 4 blocks a game. He's still active. He's still showing why he's so valuable in the NBA.
No, he is. And you know what else I mentioned? And then we're gonna get to a break here in a second. But I really think that you look at their record right now, Minnesota. They're 23-13.
Yes.
And I think they're an X-Factor team in this whole mix because I'll tell you why. Defensively, they have multiple players that bring physicality to the defensive end.
Yes.
Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Ant Edwards. They got Naz Reid. DiVincenzo.
Yes.
All these guys that are really good defensive players, and they got Jalen Clark, who was the defensive player of the year in college. So they got all these defensive-minded guys that can get after you on defense, and that's impressive to me.
Yeah, and when you get down to the playoffs, we know that, Glenn, you know this better than anybody. It's about matchups.
That's it.
It's about how you match up with this personnel, with this team, their strengths and weaknesses, who's injured, whatever, who's hot, who's cold. This team has the makeup to match up with any team, as well as the San Antonio Spurs, as well as the Denver Nuggets. It's a few teams that match up and makes it really tough. The Houston Rockets, that make it tough for opponents. So they're going to be one of those teams that in the playoffs, depending on matchups and schemes, it's going to be tough to beat them 4 times.
The Wizards, on the other hand, they're not thinking about playoffs just yet. They're thinking about getting better on a day-in, day-out basis. And Tuesday will present a new opportunity to do just that when they take on Paolo Banchero, Desmond Bane, and the Orlando Magic in Capital One Arena. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. It means pregame coverage starts on the Washington Wizards Radio Network at 5:45.
I just want to dominate. They have the potential.
The Wizards have done it.
They have the good players. They have the coaching.
They have given the nation's capital a reason to smile again.
Go Wizards.
Unbelievable.
Wizards Radio 24/7.
You're tuned in to Wizards Radio 24/7. Training camp for the 2025-2026 season is underway. It kicked off with Media Day on September 29th. And one of the big questions heading into this season, what will the Wizards get from Alex Sarr in year 2? The 7-foot Frenchman had a strong rookie campaign, was named to the first team All-Rookie for the NBA, also was the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month in December, and after participating in the FIBA Euro Cup with France over the summer, expectations are high for what he might be able to do in year 2. Here was his comments with the media on September 29th.
Let's start off with coming into now you're out of your rookie season, the expectations, and more importantly about the growth over the jump season. What steps and what jumps did you take to head into the season?
I think a lot of aspects, we worked on pretty much everything, whether it's defensively, offensively, also the games in Eurobasket allowed me to work on different stuff also, and was in the weight room a lot this whole offseason.
With I think it was 8 blocks that you had during Summer League and setting that record, defense being a priority this year, what strength regimen and nutritional regimen did you incorporate to continue to build your defensive presence?
I feel like that, like you said, the strength thing, also just being on court, playing defense against guys, having to guard guys in Eurobasket, or, just us when we're practicing, our schemes and stuff we want to do with the Wizards.
Alex, how you doing? Bijan Tal with Monumental. Playing with Team France over the summer, what was that experience like, and how did you use that opportunity to improve as a player?
Yeah, it was great. It was my first experience with the national team, something that was very important for me and that I wanted to do my first summer. And it went pretty... not the way we wanted it to be exactly, but, it's still a good experience, and it allows me to know what, my summer is going to look like from now on playing with the national team.
And Will last week mentioned that you were the best switch defender in the NBA last year as a rookie. On-ball defense, how can you improve being an on-ball defender heading into year 2?
I think just, knowing the personnel, knowing the guy you're guarding, I feel like, we do something that's closing the middle, to be specific. So, just keeping that in mind. And there's always little stuff where I can get better guarding on the perimeter.
And a housekeeping question. Have you added any height or weight over the offseason?
I added half an inch in weight. I don't know, probably 5 pounds, something like that.
Alex, specifically, what did you want to work on as you entered the offseason, and how did you attack that?
Specifically, I would say positioning defensively, stuff about timing on shot blocking, stuff like that, my shooting, then everything, being a better decision maker with the ball, being a better roller, good reads of the short roll. So there really isn't just a single thing where I wasn't trying to get better.
Specifically with the roller, that's everybody uses it, sets it up a little differently. How did you approach that, knowing that it may look a little different once the season starts, but what did you want to footwork, whatever it was, to really kind of be like, this can travel with whoever I'm in the action with?
Yeah, just get a connection about just the timing of when you get out the screen, because those are easy points that you can get and that can really change the impact of the game.
You talked about closing the middle with on-ball defense. Could you elaborate a little bit on what that means?
You just don't let your guy drive middle, so you close the middle.
When you talk about your positioning on defense, what specifically are you trying to work on when it comes to the timing?
I would say just being early in the spots, because then it puts you in a better shot blocking position for me. And then same on the closeouts, every spot matters on where we are defensively.
Will talked about the improvements that he wants the team to make as a rebounding team. How do you specifically want to improve as a rebounder?
Yeah, I think me being a better defensive rebounder will help our team rebounding a lot for sure.
Christy Winter-Scott, Monumental Sports. What did you learn most about yourself as a competitor last year as a rookie, and what do you want to see from yourself in this year in terms of how you are described and classified as a player?
Yeah, I would say, just like the impact I could have on the games my rookie season, and I would say for this upcoming season, just me being even more impactful defensively, being more impactful offensively too. Just finding more ways to be impactful, be more efficient, block more shots, grab more rebounds.
And your leadership style, describe what that would be for this year's team.
I would say just leading by example, trying to do everything right, and, also be vocal because, that's very much needed on the court.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex, you talked about being impactful with your jump shot. And given how important that is to your game, have you set any specific goals for yourself or the kind of jumpers you want to take or a percentage you want to hit or anything like that?
Not like specific goals, but there's obviously some shots that are better to take than some other ones.
Sure. So what kind of shots are you trying to filter out then?
I would say anything close to the basket. Obviously, that's my main focus right now.
Hi, Alex. Have you had conversations with Bub and Key heading into your second season together about what you kind of want to see out of each other heading into your second season together?
No, we haven't talked about that together yet, but I feel like we all got a sense of, what we would like to see from each other.
And what stood out to you about C.J. McCollum so far as a teammate?
He's very vocal in practice, in the runs. You can see, that he's been doing that for a long time. Gets to his spot. We all know how CJ plays. But yeah, it's nice to see.
Hi, Alex. Veronica, AFP. One quick question about your expectation for the team this year. What do you hope to achieve as a team? And you, perhaps more personally, how do you think you can bring something on the floor that might help reach a threshold for this year's season?
I would say just for us to compete every night, compete hard, don't back up from competition. I think that's the main focus for everyone. Everybody say we're a young team, which is true, but I think everybody is ready to compete no matter what.
And what does looking more competitive on the court mean this year? Well, it might not necessarily mean a ton more wins. The Wizards did go from 15 wins in the 23-24 season to 18 wins a season ago. Maybe there will be a similar jump, a few more extra wins this year. But what it means more than anything to this year's team, reducing the number of non-competitive losses. Last year, 25 games the Wizards lost by